Welcome everyone to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What is up, everybody?
How you been, bro?
Oh, it's a lot of stuff's happened. A lot of stuff is happening in Florida right now too. We are unfortunately waiting the arrival of Hurricane Milton.
God.
So you know, if you watch this cast in the future, you guys can come back to this timeline and see where we were at this point.
Right. Oh God. Like I was telling you up there, it brings back memories of Hurricane Sandy. Stuff I don't want to remember. That was like the worst in 100 years for us, and now again in my lifetime, I'm seeing another one, but with you over there, and I'm like, wow, that's just.
Yeah,
God,
I mean,
pray for
we
you.
had we had Helene, which thankfully did not hit my area, but my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody who was affected in Florida and North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, wherever you were, where Hurricane Helene hit. We're thinking about you. And anybody who's about to get hit with Hurricane Milton, again, I could be in that area potentially. Right now, doesn't look like it, but anything's possible. So keeping an eye on it, you know.
Just keep safe. Do whatever you got to do. Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure everything's charged.
Yeah.
Like all your phones, and then if something happened like with us, you could use the reserve power from your laptop to charge your phone.
Right. Yeah. That's basically what I'm doing. I've got my phone plugged in right now. I'm gonna plug.
Yeah, or you get one of those things like Sharon's got that like has like it charges the phone. It's like you put the energy into it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
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 So, it's been a while since the Everything Show, and I know we missed the anniversary. I do apologize. My health has been up and down lately, and different things have been going on. I've been busy with gaming, but what do you have? You have a lot of stuff, I know, to talk about.
Lots going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's not too in depth. It's a lot of like surface level stuff.
Okay.
I guess we could start with Godzilla stuff if you want. I mean,
yeah.
That's gonna be.
I've seen everything with Godzilla. Of course, and I did like the last movie with Kong. But you know my opinion on that. I'd rather Godzilla by himself. Mm-hmm. And Godzilla -1, that was like my favorite. I love that, like beyond belief. I really enjoyed that immensely. My kids took me to see that when it was in the theater. And I fell in love with that movie. That movie was just unbelievable.
Well, I can tell you too, not to cut you off or anything, but to your point though, I took my girlfriend to see it, and she's slowly been getting into it as we've been going out. We've been going out for a little over 2 years now, and we went to see -1, and after -1 was over, she turned to me as the credits were going up, like just as the credits started, and she said, "I get it now."
Wow.
And I was like,
yes.
Okay. I was like, okay. And then since then, she's just kind of been like, what else do we need to watch? And so we went through the first one, we went through the Monsterverse. And, you know, because before it was kind of like, I'll watch it because you really like it and I want to be,
right.
You know, so
now she's a fan.
But then when she saw -1, she was like,
perfect.
Now I understand why you love this so much. And I was like, yeah, there you go.
when I saw that, it was like a new beginning, like falling in love with Godzilla all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I already grew up, you know, with Mecha Godzilla and everything and all this. And then seeing this again, it's like how much I appreciate Godzilla. Like, I love the character. You know, it's one of my faves. Just like, you know, Spider-Man and Doctor Who, like Godzilla's like right there. So I just, with my kids, I had like a tear in my eye. I was basically almost crying, like watching the movie.
They did a great job with it. Obviously, you know, it won the Oscar for the special effects, which were some of the best, you know, I think we've ever seen. And not only for a Godzilla movie, but those are some of the best special effects for a movie, period. I mean, that puts a lot of really big budget movies to shame.
Yes.
On a $15 million, it was less than $15 million.
It was just an amazing thing to share that with my kids. I mean, I got them into Godzilla and they love it also, but for us to come together and all enjoy the movie at the same time, that was that was amazing. That was amazing.
One thing I really loved about it was the director, who's been a lifelong Godzilla fan. If you know anything about him, he's been doing stuff with Godzilla since 2007, basically. He directed the Godzilla the Ride animation that they had. I think it was at Universal in Japan over there for the longest time. One thing I loved about what he did was he wrote almost there were scenes in -1 that were a love letter to the MonsterVerse, specifically Godzilla 2014, because he loves the MonsterVerse, and that is something that he made very clear when the movie came out. He was like, look, anybody who's going to be like, oh, see, Toho does it better, he's like, you're wrong. They have done a fantastic job. They brought it back, and now we're gonna do our own thing with it too. So it was really a point that was meant to unite the Toho hardcore fans and the MonsterVerse hardcore fans, and just be like, look, if you like one or the other or both, it doesn't matter. We are all Godzilla fans here.
Same family.
That's the point. You know,
there's no competition with the same product.
Right.
That's basic. Everything that we do magnifies, and everything that Toho does magnifies both. It's and this is what I said. It's like I was telling you before, I don't see why like it would ever have to be some. Remember we were talking about how Toho might not like this or not like that, and I was saying how I don't understand how there should be any hostility if they're both trying to magnify the name of Godzilla.
There's definitely not. Toho approves everything that the MonsterVerse does. And they apparently are thrilled with the way that it's taken off, because again, I don't want to overstate the MonsterVerse or anything like that. I really like the MonsterVerse, right? Without Godzilla 2014, none of this happens.
Right.
None of it. They were done making Godzilla movies after Final Wars.
Right. I know.
And then 2014 brought it back, and that was the thing. And now -1. We have this amazing movie. Yeah. Because, they decided, you know what, we can do something with this.
Yeah. Now, what are they going to do next? Is it related? Is it going to be the same universe as -1, or is it going to be a new universe? They're going to reinvent themselves? Like,
nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on. I know that Toho is pursuing a sequel. They want him to do
of that.
Of that, yeah. He said that he has some ideas for the sequel.
Well, would Godzilla fight a monster in the sequel? Probably, right?
Most likely. He has thrown around the name Mechagodzilla a few times.
I gotta tell you, like as a kid, that was like my favorite thing, because it was when I was introduced to Godzilla, seeing Godzilla fight himself, but then it wasn't really him. It was that just intrigued me. Like that was like, that became like my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Next to like Ghidorah or Ghidorah, whatever. Of course. Like but like Mechagodzilla was always the original Mechagodzilla was always like my favorite. Always. So in fact, I have it all over my house now too. So
I think they may stay away from that for now. But
they'll probably like what is it? Ghidorah? They still call him Ghidorah now.
They could do that. Yeah. The more interesting story, I think, would be to explore clearly that Noriko has been infected by Godzilla. And because that's what they were implying at the end of the movie.
Now, is she going to be like a Mothra type, like be in communication with Mothra or something like that? Or
I think the next movie is going to have a heavy, like...
psychic link? With her?
No, I think it's going to be more like if you know the history after World War II, there was a lot of studies that were done in Japan on survivors of the 2 atomic bombs that were used.
So they won't use it to bring Godzilla closer to humanity, where like they communicate and he tries to be like help them? No? Oh.
I don't think so. I think this version of Godzilla is going to be because this version of Godzilla is supposed to be more like a victim, of what happened to him, like the original kind of was.
Right.
So I think there's going to be a heavy Cold War vibe in the next one, and there's also going to be some tones of kind of things that were happening after Japan was bombed, after the war, them recovering, because this movie was supposed to be like Japan has hit rock bottom and then has gone even below that. That's what the whole -1 thing was supposed to be. The basic thing was they hit 0 by losing the war. Then now they've hit -1 because Godzilla attacked them.
Right.
But since they were able to defeat Godzilla at the end, it was like, okay, now they at least have something in their favor. So I think we're going to see Japan kind of getting back on its feet in the next one. And then something tragic happens between the United States and the Soviet Union, which makes Godzilla come back. And then whoever's been infected by him, something's going to happen with that. And then maybe another monster shows up. Who knows? They could do a million things. They don't have to.
But besides, like, as far as the MonsterVerse goes, what's the next thing?
So Godzilla Kong 3 has been confirmed. Godzilla Kong: The New Empire is the most financially successful MonsterVerse movie in the whole series.
Wow.
So it's not going anywhere. The merchandise is apparently selling like crazy. So the thing is, what I'm a little worried about, is that Adam Wingard is not coming back for the next one.
Okay, why?
He has other movies that he wants to do, and his schedule just would not work. So they have a new director named Grant Sputor.
Okay.
And he did a movie on Netflix called I Am Mother, which was very good. I recommend you guys go watch that to maybe get a feel of his style.
Okay.
It was a Terminator-esque story.
Okay.
It was very good. And it has a pretty decent, I'm not saying it was like a great twist at the end, but like it has a pretty good twist at the end. You can kind of call it if you kind of pay attention throughout the movie, but it was very good. And I enjoyed it. So here are the rumors right now. It's very early in production. It's supposed to come out in March of 2027. Okay. From what we're hearing right now, again, this could all change. This could be completely off track from what it is, but the early kind of whispers about this movie are it is going to be a Godzilla Kong movie that focuses more on Godzilla.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that I've heard, and again, I don't know, again, I can't say that this is going to be what you see. However, Toho has told Legendary that they would prefer that they don't say Godzilla is part of a species anymore. They want it to be that he is the only one of his kind.
Oh, so there's not a race of Godzilla, it's just him?
So there is a race of Godzilla in the MonsterVerse, but they don't want Legendary to focus on that anymore.
Right, because that would kind of diminish him.
Right, so that's why in Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, they said that the war between the Godzillas and the Kongs was actually just a war between Scar King's group and Godzilla himself.
Okay.
Allegedly, this is all so that they can introduce, again, take this with a grain of salt, they may be introducing Godzilla Jr. in the next one. However, he would be a clone of Godzilla. He would not be like a like an actual offspring. He would be a clone of Godzilla.
Meaning the humans clone him?
Right. Now, that could also lead into the villain of the next movie, which could be some kind of hybrid titan that threatens Godzilla and Kong and the Hollow Earth and the surface and all that stuff. Because
so, I mean, would it be let me just, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like,
no, okay.
Would it be like, say, an evil organization like Opposite of Monarch would try to clone Godzilla and then it becomes like a Mecha Godzilla thing or something?
No. So
No.
What we're understanding is this next part is confirmed. Like I can tell you that this is an actual thing that's probably going to lead into the next movie.
Okay.
in the novel for Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, at the end of the book, there is like an epilogue kind of thing where the governments of the world are like, we've had enough. There have been 2019 was a disaster of proportions that we've never seen before on this planet with Ghidorah, right? Because they don't really go into how bad that event actually was. King of the Monsters, right. Like the world almost like exploded, like figuratively, right?
So now they're all anti-Titans.
So basically, they're like, look what happened in Rio. Look what happened in Egypt. Look what's been happening in France and stuff. He took over the Roman Colosseum. You know,
they're done. They're done. Right.
They're like, we've had enough.
Okay.
And kind of the tipping point of this was two things, right? Other than what Godzilla was doing, because Monarch has been able to get away with basically saying this, right? Yeah, but he got rid of that Titan for you, didn't he? Like, you know, like he took over the Roman Colosseum. Yeah, but he killed Scylla for you, didn't he?
Right.
You know, it's kind of like one of those things where they're like, yeah,
but they don't care. But they don't care after a while.
So two things kind of made the governments of the world kind of go, okay, we're done. Number one, Kong with the Beast Glove. When they saw Kong had the Beast Glove, they were like, we told Monarch that they couldn't do that. And they did it, right? So Monarch's defense of that was we didn't have a choice. Kong's arm was frostbitten. And if he didn't help Godzilla, the world would have been frozen.
Right.
Which leads me into the bigger tipping point here. When they saw Shimo and that her ability to create an ice age and she's still down there in the Hollow Earth somewhere.
Yeah.
They were like, we cannot have Titans like her, Godzilla, and Kong running around.
Yeah.
Like, this can't happen. So they are taking steps to take over the Hollow Earth. So that may be the conflict in the next movie, is that Monarch gets overridden and the governments of the world are like, it's a hostile takeover of the Hollow Earth. Right? So that'll piss off Kong, that'll piss off Shimo, Mothra, and
Godzilla, everybody. Yeah.
Right. So they're kind of like in on this is, well, what if we get rid of Godzilla, but we make our own Godzilla that we can control?
Shit. Yeah.
So they clone him to try to make their own. And here's the thing. They can look at Mechagodzilla and go, that didn't work. So they're not going to build a mech. They're like, well, let's make an organic Titan.
Right.
So I think this is kind of the, like, you can see the pieces being set up for what they're going to do.
Sounds good, though. But, of course, everybody will go to help Godzilla, like Mothra, King Kong, Kong, everybody.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if Godzilla's out of the picture, they'll be done in seconds, like compared to Godzilla. So
if Godzilla's out of the picture, all the other Titans wake up and start fighting each other to develop a new alpha. Yeah.
Right.
Because you got to remember too, in this universe, at any moment, Godzilla could just command the Titans to just destroy civilization.
Correct.
But he has no reason to do that because
he hasn't done that. So now they're not going to go the route of aliens at all?
They may eventually. It just doesn't sound like that's what they're doing next.
Okay. Because that would introduce, Gigan and all these different things, elements. Yeah.
I'm kind of okay with them not doing that because
I know
right now anyway. Because the alien thing, it's kind of like, of course they go there,
right.
But when I read that thing at the end of the book, now again, is that what they're going to do? I don't know. But when I read the thing at the end of the book of the government's taking over the Hollow Earth, I was like, that could actually be really cool. Like, that could be a really cool, like, hey, what if
the plan, because the last Godzilla was phenomenally, made too much money, is the plan do they have an overall plan, or they just have the next movie plan? Like, in other words, are they making it like, say, the MCU, where they're going to have, all different Godzilla movies and, whatever, or are they just going to be like, all right, one movie at a time?
Right now, they're doing the one movie at a time thing because that's working.
Okay.
And I think the people at Legendary are looking at what's happening with Star Wars and the MCU.
Oh
and
God,
the
what a
DCU.
fucking. We haven't
And
talked about that either. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we should get into that. But I think what they're doing is they're looking at those kind of cinematic universes and going, we may have the winning formula here.
Right. They do.
Because they go away for 3 years so that when they come back, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's go. Like, I missed this. Let's go see it. With the other ones, it's like it's nonstop. You know,
see, what I like, I'll clarify what I think what they're talking about in the chat. What I mean is I'm not saying I want to have like a whole branch of all these movies, Godzilla movies. I'm okay with them doing a Godzilla movie with Kong and then a Mothra movie. Like one movie besides Godzilla, I would be okay with a Mothra movie.
So the problem with that though is you have to look at where they make the money, right?
Okay.
The monster fans are gonna like you make a Mothra movie, you and I are gonna be there day one.
Of course, right? but nobody else might.
The general audience is gonna go, why do I care what Mothra's doing? Where's Godzilla? You know, like that kind of thing. Where's Kong? You know,
right?
So now here's the thing, though. Monarch is getting a season 2.
Okay, I haven't seen season 1 yet, but okay.
You gotta watch season 1.
I know. I gotta get Apple.
Kurt Russell is awesome in that show, and his son is like. I know everybody knows him as
U.S.
Discount Captain America.
Right.
He, in my opinion, is so much better in this show.
Right.
It's
not his fault that. Right. I mean, he's a good actor.
Yes.
It's not his fault like he got to play like that character, but
you got to see some of the shit that they do in Monarch though. Like there's something that happens in there that like if they play their cards right, they could have some wacky things happen in the movies. Like
right. Okay.
So that's getting a season 2. And actually, a couple hours ago, they just announced that the actress from Prey is going to be in season 2.
Okay.
From
the Predator Prey movie.
The Predator one, yeah, the main actress.
Right. I like that movie too, by the way.
Yeah, she's been cast in season 2. Also, because Monarch season 1 did Apple TV Plus pretty well, they greenlit 2 spinoffs.
Oh.
So we don't know what those are, but apparently they're in the works.
All right. I kind of want to. I know there's more stuff, Godzilla stuff to talk about because I kind of want.
No, that's actually it.
That gave me an opening because I kind of want to switch gears because we haven't discussed at all the Acolyte and Star Wars and I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, so you know that my first 3 movies was like say a Godzilla movie and then it was like Star Wars, right?
Sure.
So and I've been a Star Wars fan as much as Doctor Who fan, like huge, right? I gotta tell you, when I saw the Acolyte, and again I'm always open to seeing different Star, I was so angry. Like beyond angry. Like and people didn't understand, like I'm like enraged because like when I was a kid and when I grew up on Star Wars: A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return to all this, it was a clear, definitive line.
Right.
This is the Jedi and they're good, and this is the Sith and they're bad, and there's no in between. It's the light and the dark. There is no gray areas. There's no little maybe they are, maybe they're not. No. You're fucking evil and you're not evil. You're good, right? And then when this thing came along, to me, it was like people had no idea what the fuck Star Wars was, making their own shit into it, right? And immediately took, and I'm sorry for my language, took a shit on Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, like, oh, these fucking witches could just create a fucking Anakin or whatever, and it's like could be a regular thing that happens, or it happened before.
It's actually so much worse. Like if you don't put together what they did at the end, it's actually so much worse.
Because and again, here's the thing too. Like the Jedi to me were portrayed like first of all these women had held power, men were stupid. and then it's like they punish themselves by doing the shittiest jobs. Like Carrie-Anne Moss's character was with the scum of the earth, with them and whatever. The fucking Wookiee guy thing. First of all, I never could see a Wookiee as a Jedi ever because of the beastal part, and I never
it's
understood.
happened before. It's happened before.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still, I never saw it. But like he punishes himself being exiled. The other one who was like that guy that was in a sleep trance for fucking decade. First of all, I didn't like any of it. I didn't like Soul because I thought it was kind of like freaky how, like it's just the Jedi. First of all, like this whole thing about.
Can I throw a fact out there for you?
Yeah,
really
please.
Quickly?
Yeah.
Do you know who they originally intended to cast as Soul?
Who?
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, and he said no because Carrie-Anne Moss and that. Right, that would have been like the Matrix part, like 7 or something. Like that wouldn't have worked. But like the whole thing is that it was so freaky that it's like you want to be instant dad.
Yeah.
Like this is their kid. Yeah. Like, and then the fact that they're getting hunted down because of not even necessarily that they're witches, because they're gay, kind of. Like they don't allow that. Like the Jedi hunt.
It wasn't that. It wasn't.
It was just weird.
They didn't care about their sexuality. They just cared about how they were using the Force. Like,
it's like paints the Jedi as villains, like scumbags.
That's what they were going for.
And then the politics that they're all fucking corrupt. But this is so opposite of and I'm sorry, I lost it when this guy, which is the shittiest show ever, but then it had some cool battles, right? This guy killed her fucking friends.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then he heals her fucking wound. He offers her fucking food. You want to go for a dip? Like, you want me to help you? Like, what? When did the Sith do that shit? Like, what? I mean, that's just like boggles the mind.
A Sith would only do that if they were looking to get something from whoever they were targeting.
But they would have to be like fucking Palpatine manipulative.
Okay.
Not so like this guy was like controlling the Force, like it was like, oh, I can push the dark side away whenever I want because that's just, if I want to be more powerful, I'll just be mean, but then I'll lose that. Like this guy was more control of it than anybody.
Here's my thing, though, right? Like it gets so much worse when you really if you really look at what they were trying to say, it's
they were trying to destroy Star Wars.
Did you realize that the dude creeping out of the cave at the end was Darth Plagueis, right?
Which is impossible.
No, this is when he would be active.
Well, he's supposed to be super young though, right?
No. Darth Plagueis isn't human. He's an alien. He's a Mun.
Right, but he's supposed to be young anyway, though, isn't he?
Not necessarily. They age differently than humans, right?
Okay.
Here's the overarching thing, though, right? Like this is the crazy thing because this show takes place only like a couple of decades before the Phantom Menace, right?
I thought it was 100 years before.
No. It's a couple of decades before the Phantom Menace, right? No. Here's the thing, right? Them saying that Plagueis was there and he saw the twin, right? The one that went with the Sith. I didn't watch the whole show.
Oh, I did.
What happens in it?
I saw the whole entire fucking thing.
Here's what they're saying with that, though, right? Okay. Those witches use the Force to make those two kids, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, it's one soul split into two bodies.
Right. So first of all, they're trying to say that there's a dyad there. That's the first part, right?
Correct.
The second part, though, Plagueis being aware that this has happened means that this is the genesis for his idea of manipulating midichlorians to create life.
Right.
Which in turn means this is the genesis for the idea that indirectly creates Anakin Skywalker.
Which is bullshit, but okay.
So if we were going to go down this path, right? These witches using the Force to make these two should have caused the Force to react in the opposite way and make two other people to counter them.
Correct.
Because that is what happened with Anakin.
Right.
Plagueis tried to manipulate the Force, and the Force was like, and it created Anakin to stop them.
Okay. So the Force created Anakin, not Plagueis or Palpatine.
Plagueis indirectly created Anakin because he tried to manipulate the Force, and the Force said, in order to maintain balance, I must create a being that will destroy the Sith.
So,
and Anakin does destroy the Sith.
Correct.
By killing himself and the Emperor. So, there's no Sith. Well,
let me rephrase okay, so wait a minute. I know where this is going to go, because this is going to go what you and I.
Let me rephrase that really quickly. Okay. He killed the Sith, but not really, because Palpatine survived.
Okay, this is going to be what we always talk about, and that is, I have a massive problem, and I've always told you this with the rule of two, how every single time they try to go around it, on the side of it, make excuses why there's always more than two, and try to, like, whatever, but they still make more than two. So
there's only ever two Sith at a time, though, like, legitimately.
Well, I mean, you got this guy, you got Plagueis, and then you got her.
She's not a Sith.
Not yet.
She will never get the chance to become a Sith.
Well, he's going to kill her?
The show got canceled.
Well, I know that, but it's still canon, right? Or not?
Yes, but at that point when the show ended, she is not a Sith. The only two Sith are that guy,
right,
and Darth Plagueis.
But he wants to make her his apprentice.
Yeah. So
how does that make sense if? How does that make sense if he knows his master's Plagueis? And
because what's going to happen? Because this is the way that the Sith operate, right? They're the apprentice. It is the apprentice's duty to one day overthrow the master and then find their own apprentice, and that can happen while they're still an apprentice. They could find somebody. This is exactly what Darth Vader was trying to do with Luke in Empire,
right?
When he says, "You and I can destroy the Emperor." It's
correct, right?
But the thing is, though, is that Smilo Ren over here didn't know that Plagueis was watching them, and Plagueis was like, "Yeah, I see what you're doing."
And he's gonna fucking kill her.
He's gonna murk both of them because eventually he finds Palpatine and he trains.
Right, so he's gonna kill both of them, right?
Right. It's just like in Clone Wars when Darth Maul returned and he took over Mandalore with his brother Savage. What is it? Savage Opress, I think. Yeah, Savage Opress. Right. Palpatine showed up and Maul was like, "Oh, my master, I took over this planet for you to show you that I'm worthy." And Palpatine was like, "Yeah, I already have Dooku, so I have to kill both of you now."
Right. No, but he didn't kill him, though, because Obi-Wan wanted him killing him.
He killed Savage Opress, and then he took Maul as a Sith assassin, and then he escaped and went after
But see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, how there's always a technicality how they can continually exist. Like, Darth Maul dies, Darth Maul should have died. And I understand, like, I kind of like, how would I put it?
He's a Zabrak, so his biology is different. So he didn't.
No, I know that. What I'm trying to say is, like, me growing up on Star Wars from my point of view, and then them doing Clone Wars. Now, Clone Wars is probably one of the greatest things of Star Wars, right? But to me,
I would say so, yeah.
Right, and I recognize that, but to me, I never understood it because I'm like, Anakin is this way, and there's no way you would have an apprentice because of his anger and because of his whatever. But then Clone Wars is trying to say he does have an apprentice, and I'm like, it's a paradox to me.
Do you want to know how that happened?
Yeah.
Dave Filoni made Ahsoka, right?
Well, no, I thought George Lucas made Ahsoka.
No. Dave Filoni made Ahsoka. That's why he is where he is today. Like, because he was.
I thought George Lucas said that.
No. So what happened was Filoni made her and was like, I want to make her like the main character of Clone Wars along with Anakin and Obi-Wan, right?
Okay.
And as he was explaining this character to George Lucas said, I love this. She's Anakin's apprentice. And Filoni said, but wait, Anakin doesn't have an apprentice. Like, kind of like you were saying. And then George Lucas said, yes, he does. It's Ahsoka. Because he loved the character so much, he was like, she is trained by Anakin.
But this is what I'm talking about. It's like, that's not what it was originally was. Like, he didn't have an apprentice. And then George Lucas changed his mind.
Yeah.
And said, okay, it is.
But then if George Lucas at the time, if he changes his
mind,
he's
creator. I understand.
That's canon, right? You know,
like this can't. No, I agree. Listen, he's the creator, and nobody could question that.
Right.
But it does cause problems because the thing is, massive problems, and sometimes they trip over their stuff with it, and it doesn't fit like a puzzle.
I would say that he is far more consistent than Disney has been, though. Like, at least George Lucas knows, like, he has the vision. Disney has no vision for this.
Well, Kyle Mundi, first of all, he's not even supposed to be alive in that time period anyway. He's only like that's
not
even like a lifespan of 50 years old, and he was supposed to be the most honorable of Jedi, not scumbag liar.
Well, this is the thing though. It's not like if you want to change his birth date, like that's fine because like they control the canon.
Yeah, but he's a fucking Benedict Arnold fucking traitor. That's
the thing. Like to have him be anywhere near any of the events of the Acolyte makes his line in A Phantom Menace saying, "Impossible. The Sith have been gone for 1,000 generations."
That's not even it. It's the fact at the end you fucking put Yoda in there.
Yoda, yeah,
and that ruined him.
Which means, this is why this show is this bad, right? If you go watch The Phantom Menace now, that means that Yoda and Ki-Adi-Mundi were lying to the whole
they're full of shit.
Right? So, and let me explain to you how crazy that could have gone, right? Let's say Mace Windu found out about this, like he was like, you've been lying to us?
Right.
This man could have brought a motion to excommunicate Yoda from the council.
Right.
And he would have been well within his rights to do so.
But this is why the thing is, you get the sense when you see Phantom Menace and you see when you see like the Revenge of the Sith, right?
Right.
That Yoda is just letting the fucking Jedi doing their own fucking shit. Like, and they're like, nobody could there's no way there could be a Sith. There's no, like, they're just so fucking convinced that this could never fucking happen ever. That they get obliterated because it does happen. Like, the egos are incredible.
Exactly. That was the point George Lucas was trying to get across, though, was that the Jedi's downfall was really their own doing.
Their goddamn ego, right?
Yeah.
And then when Anakin's like, wait a minute, I've been trained as a Jedi, you can't do this. Right. And Mace Windu's like, fuck it, we're doing it. Like, wait a minute.
And of course, Palpatine pulling the strings, too. Like, making
but the funny thing is, when shit fell apart, the Jedi are like, fuck it. Because we've never had Sith before. Fuck this. We need to finish this whatever way possible. Fuck it. We need to kill him, go against the Jedi Order, whatever, because we can't have these motherfuckers ruling the galaxy. And then Anakin turns on fucking Mace Windu. It's just like...
Right. Well, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, though, like, think about this for a second, right? Because of the Rise of Skywalker, let's say Anakin was like, you know what, Mace? You're right. And Mace, quote unquote, kills Palpatine there. Palpatine doesn't die. He goes to Exegol.
Right. And see, here's the thing. Look, on one side, the kid in me was like, yeah, the Emperor, yeah. But the adult side of me like, no!
Palpatine being in that movie was a desperation move, and it was the worst thing they could have done.
But it goes to show that they could do anything now. Like,
I will tell you.
There's another body now somewhere. Like, it's like.
Oh yeah. I'm going to say something really controversial here, and I'm going to get comments for this. But again, this is just my opinion, right?
Right.
I know that everybody hates The Last Jedi because of how they treated Luke, and I 100%
Oh, yeah.
understand that. I agree. I get it, right?
Yeah.
The biggest mistake that The Last Jedi made was killing Snoke.
Oh, I agree. I agree because
that was the
Snoke should have been the villain of the whole trilogy and get out of the whole Emperor bullshit and all this other stuff. It should have been like, who the fuck is Snoke? And they turned Snoke just like they turned Captain Phasma into a shit fucking character.
Yep.
I mean, it was cool to see Kylo Ren do it.
Right.
But if they would have did it where he killed them, but then he was in a clone body or something and just was still the villain, okay, in shock that happened. But like they ruined it. They ruined it. That movie is an abomination because again, like you have to think that maybe people that are made the Acolyte love that movie.
They do. They do.
Because they replicated it in the Acolyte with the whole Kylo Ren with his shirt off and she's like, like what the fuck? He killed Han Solo. You weren't upset about that? Like what the fuck?
They could have had that movie like to this day. I'm like the move in The Last Jedi was you have Rey turn to the dark side. Because Snoke is like, you've never had a family, you're nobody. Right. He reveals to her who she is, right?
Well, she shouldn't have even been a Palpatine, first of all.
I agree, 100%.
She should have been like, because you didn't know shit about Ben Kenobi, so like, he should have been like, he had a fucking family on Tatooine. He wasn't just there, he had a kid. That's what it should have been.
That's what it was originally, and when they started filming The Rise of Skywalker.
Should have been that way.
Supposed to be a Kenobi, yeah.
Should have been because the fact that he's by himself on the planet for no fucking reason, doing nothing, like he had to have a fucking family and shit, everything.
Think about this though, right? In the Kenobi show, there's a scene where he's talking to Leia, and she says, "Like, do you remember anything about your family?" And he goes, "No, but I think I had a brother." I am nobody will ever convince me that line was not in the original script. Because that was what they were setting up, is that his brother was Rey's father or grandfather.
What do you mean? In the original trilogy?
So there was an original, and this has been big news in the Star Wars thing. The Kenobi show we got was not what we were supposed to get originally.
Okay.
The original script for the Kenobi show leaked online. It was a movie. It was going to be 3 movies, actually. Joe, when I tell you that this script is the greatest Star Wars script that has ever been written, I am not exaggerating.
Why didn't they do it?
So when The Last Jedi pissed everybody off and then Solo failed at the box office,
right?
They said no more movies other than the main trilogy. We're going to put everything on Disney Plus. And then apparently, could have been Kathleen Kennedy, could have been somebody else. She looked at the script for the Obi-Wan and said, "This is not what we want to do."
Shit.
Somebody back there said, "This is not what we want to do." Allegedly.
So let me ask you a question. Him having a brother, was his brother also in the Jedi or the Sith, or no? Or just?
I imagine that his brother was either Force sensitive, but not as Force sensitive as Obi-Wan was, or he wasn't, but his children could be.
Okay, and then that would have been how she's a Kenobi.
Exactly.
That would have been perfect.
It would have been. It would have been great.
Perfect. Completely perfect. And it's too late. They can't even change it, right?
No. But I mean, it's not like it matters because apparently the Rey movie has been postponed indefinitely. So
well, good because first of all, here's the thing: I never understood the end two of that because it's like strike me down and I'll go in your body, and she strikes him down and then he don't go in the body. Like I don't understand any of that at all.
The explanation for that was that apparently at that point she was being empowered by the spirits of the Jedi,
so he couldn't go in her body.
So he couldn't do it, but they did a horrible job of showing that in the movie.
Right, that's terrible. And they're all dead. Ahsoka too in that time.
Possibly because I mean her voice was one of the
voices.
Voices
that's what I was saying. Right. Yeah.
Now, here's another thing, though, right?
Mhm.
Half of those voices shouldn't have even existed because you can't retroactively become a Force ghost. Like, you need to know how to do that before you die. You can't just do it when you're dead, because by that point your spirit has already gone into the cosmic.
Like force. Yoda would have been, Ben Kenobi would have been.
The only ones that would have been there would have been Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Luke Skywalker, maybe Leia.
Right.
And that's pretty much it.
And Anakin wouldn't be.
Oh, Anakin too. Yes, Anakin too.
Yeah, Anakin. Okay. But Mace Windu, no.
No.
Right.
Ahsoka, you could say Ahsoka could, because Anakin could have taught her that as a Force ghost, like it's possible.
Right.
Actually, no, I take that back. It's definitely possible because Qui-Gon Jinn taught Yoda how to do it. So he was dead already. So
right.
Ahsoka, yes, she could have hypothetically been there.
What did you think Obi-Wan? What did you think Obi-Wan at the end?
Huh?
What'd you think of Obi-Wan?
The show?
Yeah.
So I thought it was okay, but knowing what I know now, I'm very disappointed.
Right.
And
what do you think of what they did with Darth Vader? Like he's just like fucking toying with the.
I liked that fight.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, why didn't Obi-Wan just kill him?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, he walked away, and I'm like, you have Vader. He's literally suffocating.
Because he felt he caused him to be that way, and then he couldn't do it again a second time.
Well, at that point, though, he accepted that it was Anakin that died because of Vader. Like, that's what they were trying to imply. That's why he calls him Darth, because he's accepted that Anakin's gone. So here's, like, logically, though, if Obi-Wan has accepted that Anakin is gone, and he later on tells Luke, you have to kill him, why wouldn't Obi-Wan in that moment be like, oh, Anakin's gone? I'm going to kill you. Because you're a threat. You know?
Right. I know.
But even earlier in the show, there's that scene where Vader is dragging Obi-Wan through the fire. And then they, like, cart Obi-Wan away, and Vader's just like, oh, look, he's getting away. I'm like, there is no, pardon my language, there is no fucking way that Darth Vader at that moment would have let Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi get away.
What they try, and see, the thing that bothers me is, like, he's supposed to be massively fucking evil. There's not a goddamn inch of sympathy for anything, right? And the only time it comes out is, like, when he's like, we have a new enemy, Luke Skywalker, and he's like, how is that possible?
Right, because like, that started to unbalance.
Motherfucker, how is that possible? Because you told me, bitch, that Padme was dead. Right. So immediately, like the moment, and I know that was an add-on because it wasn't in the original, right?
Right.
But the moment he uttered those words was like, our relationship's done. Like, like immediately.
You're right, because the moment the Emperor said,
that's my name, Skywalker, fucker. Right. Like,
the moment he said the offspring of Anakin Skywalker, that was when
it was. But that's when Anakin immediately back in seconds. It's like, how is this possible? It wasn't even like pure evil. Just his consciousness. It was just like, what?
Well, that's
like,
the hope.
Wait, what?
That's the hope that reignited him, because Vader, at that point, Vader had the guilt and the anger of being like, I killed my wife, I killed my child, I destroyed the Jedi.
So that created doubt.
Things.
Right.
So when he says, I believe this is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker, there's now a flicker of hope. And that hope is what's left of Anakin inside Darth Vader. So
and that's not supposed to exist, though, and I know this, in Obi-Wan at all. Right? But then, I mean, that's the thing, is like, you're trying to say, wow, he was so close at Obi-Wan that, but no, you can't do that. See, like, when I was always like, no, they can't fight each other again. Like, I always was in an impression that they didn't. Like, it was like the Revenge of the Sith, that's it, and then he hasn't seen him in so long, and it's like life got busy.
You want to really get upset though? Like, you want to really. Let me tell you a couple of the things that were in the original Obi-Wan script.
Oh
Okay.
God. There we go.
And this is really like you're gonna.
Which
be like,
I'm not saying I liked it either with the whole bullshit of him
yeah.
trying to rescue Leia. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Like that's
Well, when I say you're gonna get upset, I mean you're gonna get upset that the movie was never made. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying, right? There is a whole plot in the original Obi-Wan script.
Okay.
Where Commander Cody, the clone trooper, that's the first one to get the Execute Order 66 that we see in Revenge of the Sith. Before the movie, he realizes what went wrong. That there was the inhibitor chips in the clones, and he takes his chip out. And when he does that, he starts feeling the guilt of ordering them to fire on Obi-Wan, who was a very good friend of his, right?
Right.
He eventually finds Obi-Wan on Tatooine. And he realizes that Obi-Wan has cut himself off from the Force. And there's a scene in the show, or in the movie, where Cody follows Obi-Wan through a town on Tatooine, like kind of like we saw in the show. And he pulls him into an alleyway and puts a knife to his throat. And he's like, General Kenobi would not have let me done that.
Right.
Right? And so all this stuff happens. And the reason that Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine is to kind of draw the Empire away because they're getting kind of too close.
Right.
And he tells Cody, like, listen, I need to go away for a while. I need you to watch over Luke, right? And Cody's like, okay. So he's watching over Luke while Obi-Wan is gone. And immediately I'm like, okay, I can buy that rather than Obi-Wan just leaving Luke alone.
But let me ask you a question. I want to just, he's watching over Luke, right? But he's not being a Jedi because they'll sense it?
Well, no, in the show they just wanted to make him look pathetic.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's not. Let me put it to you this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, let me put it to you if you're going to protect Luke, you got to be a fucking full-fledged Jedi.
Okay, wait, hold that thought. Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite character. I just want anybody to watch the show. He's my favorite character in Star Wars.
Right.
So I take this really personally that they did this, but like, hold on, just hold that thought. In the script for the movie, again, didn't get made, Obi-Wan was still a Jedi.
Right?
And he apparently was living with Owen, Lars, and Aunt Beru.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
And he was telling them the minute Luke turns 4, I'm taking him away.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to train him as a Jedi. And apparently there are scenes throughout the beginning of the movie where he's trying to push Luke to use the Force. Right? And he's like Luke has this little ball. And he picks up the ball and he's like, take the ball. And Luke crawls over and he goes, no. Take the ball. Like, try to like use the Force to take it from him, right?
Right.
And then when Luke can't do it, Obi-Wan gets frustrated with him, right?
Right.
This is what leads to Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan having a falling out. Because Owen's like, he's just a kid.
Right.
Like, what are you doing, right? So
leave him alone.
Now, I want you to keep this in mind because the next thing I'm going to tell you is probably the coolest thing to ever happen in Star Wars.
But it didn't happen, right?
Opinion. Obi-Wan, later in the movie, has a connection with the Force in this place. I don't remember exactly where it was, but he was like meditating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he sees a vision of Anakin, right? In a dark robe, has a red lightsaber. He's coming right towards him. And Obi-Wan gets up and he ignites his lightsaber and he's like, this is it. This is Vader. I'm going to take Vader down. I'm going to go get Luke.
He doesn't know that Vader is Anakin?
Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
The person in the dark cloak with the red lightsaber and the Sith armor comes up to him. The hood blows back. It's a dark side version of Luke.
From the future.
It's the future if Obi-Wan pushes him to become a Jedi.
Oh.
And it represents the failure that Obi-Wan will have if he follows this path.
So don't train Luke. Like
so
when he's young.
Exactly. So eventually at the end of the movie, he's like, I have to let Luke walk his own path.
Right. That would have been great.
That path will hopefully lead to the hope of the galaxy. And then what do we see in episode 4? I want to become a Jedi like my father.
Right.
It all comes full circle.
That would have been great, but Kathleen Kennedy kills all the fucking dreams, really.
The final battle between Obi-Wan and Vader in the first movie was going to take place on a space station that was falling into a planet's atmosphere.
Okay.
And they were going to be fighting while this space station was burning up around them.
Wow. And that just would make him believe that Obi-Wan died.
Yes.
That's why he's like, I haven't felt the presence like this in.
Yes.
And then he walks away like, fuck.
Because Reva was gonna show up at the end because she was in it, but not as much as she was in the show. Apparently,
right?
She was gonna show up at the end. She didn't know that Anakin was Vader, right?
Right.
Obi-Wan tells her that earlier in
right.
the movie, and she's like, "Oh my god, I've been working for the guy I've been trying to kill the whole time." Right.
Right.
And at the end of the movie, she sees Obi-Wan escaping, and she's like, "Just go, just get out of here." Go wherever you need to go. I'll cover you, right? She goes to Vader after the space station falls and they get off the space station. She goes to Vader and she's like, Obi-Wan was escaping and I killed him. And Vader's like, you what? And then he kills her.
Oh. That would have been better. See, that to me, when I saw the end and I'm like, the Emperor's talking to Darth Vader, like they were like chummy, like buds.
Yeah.
Like, it's all right if Obi-Wan's alive. Fuck it. Like, what do you mean?
Dude, the movie is going to open. The script opens with Darth Vader killing 5 Jedi at once. And before he kills them, he says, where's Kenobi? Where's Kenobi? Where's Kenobi?
Right.
And none of them know.
But
right?
this is why, wait,
hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then the Emperor contacts him after that. And he's like, Lord Vader, your hunt for Obi-Wan is making you very unbalanced. I'm not sure that you're fit to be my apprentice, right? And Vader's like, well, Master, wouldn't you agree that Master Kenobi is one of the greatest threats to the Empire in the galaxy? And the Emperor's like, well, he is, but remember, you failed to kill him. And then Vader goes, yeah, like you failed to kill Yoda.
Oh, shit.
It's so perfect. It's like, I can't believe they had it on the 10-yard line and they fumbled the ball.
I'm watching the Kenobi thing and I'm like, Emperor's not pissed that he didn't, that, like, he's not, like they're going to leave Obi-Wan alone purposely.
Yes.
Right? Like, which is not the way it is originally. Like, absolutely they would always, like, and I'm like, this is not, am I in the Bernstein Bears universe? Because, like, he would tell him, go find Obi-Wan for decades, I don't care, you got to kill him because the Jedi will come back and kill us. Like, you don't leave your enemies alive. And I'm like, I don't understand why they're talking to each other like they're buds.
Obi-Wan getting away from that fire and Vader just letting him go was really a moment where I actually had to stop watching the show and I was like, this is being made by people. I was like, this is being made by people that don't know what's like
fucking idiots. And then even at the end, them talking to each other, my friend, you're like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like, Obi-Wan's there. Do I have to tell you how to be evil? Because you're the fucking most evilest bastards, and you're like, it's okay. You want a cup of coffee? You right? I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Like Reva finding Anakin, or Reva knowing that Anakin is Vader, is another like, what do you mean? You know, like.
But even her, right? He didn't even kill her.
Right. He's
like, I'm gonna leave her, and she's so pissed off. This bitch is gonna come back in the future, more powerful than ever. But this is what we do now. Is that we just fucking fuck it. This is for the next. This stupid.
You want to hear a conspiracy theory / hypothesis that I have about Reva?
Yeah.
I think that had that show done better than it did, they were going to say that Reva was Finn's mother.
That would have been nice because Finn should have been with the Force more than fucking anybody else, and they dropped his character.
I absolutely
fact,
believe that.
I thought that they were doing that romance with Rey and Finn in Phantom, like in that one, and then boom, they changed gears with The Last Jedi.
Yep.
So like, and then it's, I don't know. It's just there's so many things that
you want to know what's really unfortunate? You want to know what's really unfortunate though too?
What?
When Finn is on, I don't remember the fucking planet, Jakku. Okay.
Right.
When Finn was on Jakku, right, and he at the beginning of The Force Awakens, and he refuses to shoot the villagers because he just saw his friend die. When he has that moment that it looks like he's having an anxiety attack,
right?
He may very well have been, but that was his awakening into the Force,
right? But even Kylo Ren knew that shit.
Yes. So when Snoke says there has been an awakening, have you felt it? They were talking about Finn. They weren't talking about
Correct.
That leads me to believe that there was a plan for Finn to be a far better main character than he was.
He was supposed to be the main fucking Jedi.
I agree.
And I don't know what the fuck happens.
Who's the first character you see in that very first Force Awakens trailer?
Him.
There you go.
And you know what kills me? It's like you're being led down a path that he is going to be, right?
Yes.
And then it's like, what would happen if someone else did, let's say, Empire Strikes Back, and they said, fuck it, Han Solo was just running a bar or some shit.
Right.
Like, your main character is now a fucking third string character. Not even the droids got more fucking airtime than he did. Like, they literally screwed up that character so bad. Even in Rise of Skywalker, he was even more diminished.
You want to know what really bothers me about the whole Han Solo thing in The Force Awakens? And, like, full disclosure, I like The Force Awakens. I don't have an issue, like, with the movie. I think it could have been something really good.
They should have never killed Han Solo.
Well, Harrison Ford didn't want to come back.
But it's still, that's fucked up.
Here's my thing. What I was going to say was, it really bothered me that him and Leia got like the equivalent of a divorce in Star Wars.
Me too. Me too. I'm like, that's bullshit.
Their son turns to the dark side. And their response to that is she gets more into politics and then he goes back to smuggling.
And he loses the Millennium Falcon too. Right.
Yeah, they weren't there for each other.
See, the thing is, growing up, it's like they were the perfect couple. They would last forever. And then this guy comes along, Rian Johnson, in my opinion. And
this is J.J. Abrams. This is J.J. Abrams that did that.
What? It's not him that did the fucking Last Jedi?
No.
Rian Johnson?
J.J. Abrams is the one that wrote the story that they separated.
Okay. But, yeah. Well, I'm not a fan. Here's the thing, though. But, like...
Well, directly.
Okay. Correct. We'll talk about him now. It's like... Let's destroy everybody's fucking dreams of Star Wars. Luke is like a drunk, not even being a fucking, like, they're all failures. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because, like, that's not what I grew up on. That's not how it ended. It was a happy ending, and fucking they're going to be together, and they're going to have kids, and Luke's going to fucking train Jedi, and he's going to have kids happily ever after, peace in the fucking universe. Not this bullshit that we got.
It feels like they were like, you know what we have to do? We have to
make it like reality.
No. They were like, well, yeah, but like they were like, we have to make the old characters look bad so our new characters look good. And my thing with that is, you're already off on the losing streak if you do that. And the best example is this: if you watch The Mandalorian, anytime that Din Djarin interacts with a character that everybody knows from the past, they never make them look bad to make him look good.
Right.
In fact, Luke showing up at the end of season 2 overshadowed everybody in that show. And you know what?
Yeah.
People still like Din Djarin, and they still like Baby Yoda.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to make the old characters look bad to make the new ones look good. If anything, you should have the old characters be there so that the new characters can have their own accomplishments that put them on the same pedestal as the old characters.
And what's his name doesn't want to come back anymore, right?
Who?
The guy that played Finn, he won't come back.
No, because he and
they
I don't
fucked him over.
Disney, there was some really weird things that they did to him.
That was terrible. Terrible.
Not to mention,
I think didn't they even ask him? Didn't they even insult him and ask him to be Kang? He's like, "Fuck off."
That was a rumor that they approached him for that. Yeah.
Fucking. Has he done anything with Disney since? No, right?
I don't believe so. No.
But what has he done though? I don't even know. Has he done anything?
Well, he did Pacific Rim Uprising. That should tell you everything you have to know.
But that's what I'm saying. He hasn't done anything really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adam Driver won't come back. He's done.
But he died and he fucking baited into fucking. I loved his character and I'm like, why'd you do this? Like, why'd you kill him off? That's
Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren went from being a character that everybody made fun of to like now everybody looks back and goes, you know what? He was the best character.
Let me tell you something. I fucking loved the shit out of him, right? And when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, he took the mask off. I'm like, no, he's just original. He's different. He's not like whatever. He embraces the mask, but he can take the fucking mask off. And I love that.
You know how crazy it is? I actively want them to make a short or something where Kylo Ren just beats the shit out of the guy in the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Like, just wrecks him.
You know what the funny thing was? Snoke kept to take that fucking mask off, right?
Yeah.
But he's the type, even if he was a good guy, he'd fucking wear the goddamn Kylo Ren fucking thing because that's him. That's his fucking thing. He loves the fucking mask like his grandfather.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. It doesn't have to be whatever. He just, and his voice is just phenomenal when he talks like that with the fucking mask on. I love that.
And the fact that Adam Driver's like 7 feet tall. He's like naturally imposing.
Right.
You know? Like,
he did the goddamn rock bottom. Right? He did the rock bottom. The rock was like, what the fuck? He did the rock bottom.
I'll tell you what, that opening scene with him in The Rise of Skywalker, I can watch all of that. I think all of that is actually really cool.
I love watching him. Like, that's why it's so weird. It's like this bullshit that you don't agree with, but then you love him as Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah.
It's just like I just didn't.
That's why when they killed him at the end, I was like, this is so stupid. Out of left field.
Right. This is dumb. So fucking dumb. Made no sense. And of course he fades into, so now you can't bring him back ever. It's like, oh, great. Thank you. Now you fucked up.
I don't know why
I would have loved if they would have left him alive.
Right.
And then she did that thing, I'm a Skywalker. Well, they got married, so you are, right?
The end of that
movie made fucking sense.
The end of that movie should have been him and her in a Jedi temple with like younglings around them.
Correct.
And her pregnant, like her visibly pregnant.
Yes.
And it would have been like, okay, they're going to go back to the original teachings of the Jedi because she has those books.
Right. But she should have, in the sequels like they're doing now, she should have been evil. They should have had him. They should have had him be the one that had to, and it wouldn't be, he would have had to fucking kill her. Like, she couldn't turn back.
They should have done a double.
Emperor possessed her like that vision. Just like that vision that she became evil.
Yes.
She should have been evil.
They should have done a double turn in The Last Jedi where she turns evil and then Luke brings.
Like they did in The Acolyte, which is bullshit.
Sort of, yeah. And Luke brings Kylo Ren back to Leia. And that is how he like rectifies his failure.
Right.
And then in the next movie, Ben turns Rey back and they defeat Snoke.
Right.
This is not rocket science.
No.
It's pretty cliche, but you know what? If they would have done something like that, I guarantee you Star Wars would be in a better place right now.
But now, finally, when you have your checks and balances and you go to pay the check, when they go to dinner, they're having trouble paying the check because all these years of neglect, all these decades of destroying the fucking goddamn thing. Now, finally, now they're starting to see, oh shit, we fucked up. Now, took all of this.
What makes you say that?
Acolyte. But I'm saying, like, all of this, it took all this because besides, coupled with the Star Wars failure, coupled with the Indiana Jones failure, coupled with the MCU failure, you got it from all ends. Now they're scared, like they're and add to real life shit going on where the economy's in the toilet. They're battling with politics. Politicians are trying to destroy Disney because they're trying to be too big for their bridges, taking away their tax cuts, taking away this, taking away that. They are screwed every which way. And they have all these fucking properties. And they're like, what do we fucking do? And then this one's firing everybody now, right? Kevin Feige firing everybody.
Allegedly.
Everybody that's caused them to cause shit. But for some reason, they can't fire Kathleen Kennedy. She's like immune to being fired because she's the one that got George. Isn't she the one that got George Lucas to sign over the company?
Yeah, I think it was a combination between her and Bob Iger. I think that.
So that's why.
I think the reason that they don't let her go is that if they do, it's almost like an admission of failure. Like, yeah.
I think she can't be fucking fired. Like I do this for you. I give you Star Wars. I give you on a silver platter. You can never fire me. Okay.
Here's my worry though is this. Like, let's say they quote unquote fire her, or they're like, Kathleen, I think you should step down and get your retirement, right? Which she deserves. I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't deserve that, but who gets that job?
Well, let me ask you a question. You loved David Filoni, right?
I don't love Dave Filoni, but I think
no, you thought he was. But then who was behind the fucking acolyte? Him.
It was Kathleen Kennedy. He approved some things there, but apparently,
but see, he's still part of it, though. He's still part of it.
Absolutely,
he's guilty of, like, if you're gonna create that, because that is the icing.
I don't think he had a choice. I don't think he had a choice. I think it was like this was what they did. I think it was like, Dave, this is happening with or without you, and he was like, well, let me kind of join in and try to salvage some of it.
And now what are they trying to do to save it? The Goonies fucking meet Star Wars?
Oh, yeah, Skeleton Crew. That's not gonna
like. First of all, I gotta tell you, I saw that and immediately I'm like, why is this like Earth and school? And I got sick. I actually got sick, like looking at that. Like something's wrong in the universe that this thing is happening. The show's happening. It should not be. Star Wars should not be connected in any way to like Earth or anything like that.
I'll tell you what. You know who? Well, actually, no. I take that back. I was gonna say
Favreau.
You know who should have gotten their own show?
Who?
The two Dark Jedi in Ahsoka. Baylan Skoll and his apprentice. Mm-hmm. They were the best part of that show.
I don't know.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, that Ahsoka show did not really do anything for me. Like, nothing.
But, like, how do you fix this?
How do you fix it?
How do you... Because here's the thing now. You got to eliminate shit, like, from canon. You got to do something.
There are three things that you do to fix this. And I've thought about this for a long time. And I was like, you know what?
Were you going to say that fucking, the whole Daisy Ridley fucking trilogy never happened?
No. You do a Darth Vader movie.
Well, how many times did we say that?
But now hold on though, because it's not just as simple as you do a Darth Vader movie.
Kills all the Jedi.
You have to do a Darth Vader movie where it's literally just 2 hours of him
killing everybody.
People. Yeah,
but we said this on the Everything Show how many times?
That's the only thing you can do, right? And then,
we even said it. We said if we could go back and look at Everything shows, and we could say if shit goes wrong, we said this. Darth Vader movie.
Here's the other thing you do, right?
Trilogy.
No, like you follow that up with the exact opposite. You do a Luke Skywalker movie where you hire Sebastian Stan to play Luke.
He can still do it.
It's Luke between 6 and 7 doing his thing, and he does some of the coolest shit you've ever seen.
What, with Sith?
No, where he's just fighting whoever the villain is.
Not Sith, not Jedi user.
Not Sith. No, it'd be like Dark Jedi or something like that.
Okay.
And right. So now, we're doing it, and then to your point you were making before, do we eliminate stuff? Yes, I'll tell you what we eliminate. Right?
Acolyte never happened.
First thing, Acolyte, you eliminate that. Fine.
Never happened from a canon.
The second thing you do. This is you make those 2 movies. I guess this would be the third thing you do, but I was gonna say second thing from a TV standpoint. But you green light the Book of Boba Fett season 2. Right now, hold on. Everybody relax. I know. Wait, hold on. The beginning of that trailer for that show is Boba Fett waking up in the Bacta tank. He gets up and he's like, fuck this. And he just goes ape shit on the whole town and takes over the whole underworld and becomes the Boba Fett that we want to see.
Wait a minute. So you're saying like season 1 is not, that guy's not Boba Fett? What are you saying?
Oh no, season 1 happened. But then he gets up and he's like, fuck this honor thing. And then
right, because when was he ever like with that?
What?
Honor. Like he just fucking killed
in the first season of the Book of Boba Fett.
But I'm saying he wasn't like that, the character. Like he just fucking killed anybody.
Before that, no. That's what I'm saying. Like he gets
right, that's what I'm saying. Like that's not Boba Fett. That's why nobody fucking liked it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We give them the Boba Fett that they want. Right? That's that.
And
right?
keep the fucking mask on.
Right, exactly. Then the next thing you eliminate from canon, the Kenobi show. Axe that.
How do you axe that?
You literally just say it didn't happen.
It just didn't happen? Like another universe? Whatever?
It didn't happen. Let me ask you a question. If you take away that show, does it affect anything else?
What, but Kenobi?
Mm-hmm.
No.
So this is what you do. You get rid of that show, and then you announce, we're making that Obi-Wan movie that you guys read about.
Well, that's what they should do then. Then do that. Then make it like it's just bullshit. Whatever. It's like whatever way you want to explain it. Why can't they just? So why can't they do that?
They have every ability to do that.
It's Kathleen Kennedy.
She's somebody.
She is. And this is the thing. She wants to go out on a high. Then do fucking something you wouldn't do. Just like, okay, we're gonna switch gears for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with Star Trek. Also, I was a Trekkie. Watched everything in high school, right? With Next Generation, okay, right? Picard, season 1, shit.
Yep.
Right. Season 2, shit. Right. And he originally said he's never going to do stuff with Starfleet, never going to do stuff in Next Generation. The person that did that, Picard season 3, was like the greatest fucking love letter to Star Trek Next Generation ever, in my opinion. That's like season 8 of Star Trek Next Generation. Like, you don't need to see Picard season 1 and 2. You just see Picard season 3, and that is it. Right? That was the way Star Trek needs to be, and they don't do it.
Right.
And they're threatened by how great that is. And it's all politics. It's like, oh, this is the greatest fucking thing people love, but we can't do that. Why not?
There's a way to salvage Star Wars. You just have to have a bunch of really good, like a bunch of wins in a row. And then that will get people talking.
First of all, Acolyte, I think, is already not canon, right? Because they totally took it off the goddamn fucking.
No, it's canon. It's still canon.
Still canon?
It's still canon.
That can't be. Yoda can't be connected with that in any way, and Ki-Adi-Mundi, no. Yeah, that's got to be great. No, but it can't be. That has to be taken out of canon. Disney would have to make an announcement. This is not canon.
They're not going to do that, though.
Of course not.
They will not do that.
Because they're assholes. That's why.
Because there would be an admission of guilt. Dude, the fucking person that they have directing this quote-unquote Rey movie that may or may not happen.
Oh, God. That's an asshole.
is like
Yes.
a feminist documentarian or something.
We talked about fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill it for Met. Fuck you. Fire these people. Fire these fucking people. These people are no fucking good for the future of these franchises. Fire these fucking people. This is,
You have to go.
they're
you have
never
to go
gonna
watch,
make money.
You have to go watch Star Wars Theory. He had an interview.
Oh, I
with the
watch
guy
him sometimes. I watch him.
Yeah.
I like him.
He had an interview with the guy who wrote the script for Kenobi, the original.
Oh,
movie
this was past couple of weeks. I think he did, right?
Yeah, you got to watch that because that
I gotta
guy,
watch that. I
that
only
guy
watch.
has such a passion for Star Wars. It's not even funny.
But Disney has to embrace these changes because they're going to go out. Well, you know what's going to happen? Rather than go out of business, they're going to sell everything they bought, or a lot of the properties. It's terrible. First of all, the MCU is in shambles.
Dude, you want to know what the
You released. First of all, you know what I would do?
Yeah.
That Captain America movie can't come out.
Well, wait. Let me hold that thought for a second because I was just about to say there is a rumor that they cut out a shit ton of stuff from that movie, and apparently it is not going to be good.
Last night? It failed the test screen totally.
Yeah. Well, you know what they did?
This is a Batgirl.
They took out the scene where Isaiah tries to shoot the president.
Right.
Because they were like, "Oh, it's too close to Trump being shot," and I was like,
"Oh God, here we go."
I was like, "But the president
movie.
doesn't actually get shot in that scene."
It's a movie, and he's the Red Hulk anyway.
Right.
Chris, give me 1 second. Talk about something like not even a minute. I just have to do one thing. All right.
I got you.
Just talk to everybody for a second.
There for you guys watching. I mean, there are ways that they can fix Star Wars. There are ways that they could absolutely, they don't necessarily have to take things out of canon or say that things didn't happen. They can take things like the Book of Boba Fett or something, and if they get somebody in there who's really passionate about that character, and they have Dave Filoni with them, and they if they could just get that buzz on social media, like, man, I really didn't like the Book of Boba Fett, the first season, but those first 2 episodes of season 2 were awesome. And then if you keep building that a little bit in different projects, then you start getting people excited about Star Wars again. And when people are excited about Star Wars, and you can use this idea for any franchise that you think is not doing well. If you just a little bit at a time, oh, that Vader movie was awesome. Oh, that Luke movie / show is amazing. Oh, Book of Boba Fett, a hypothetical Mandalorian season 4 that gets back to form. Maybe they even do a Rey movie that they tell a really good story and they make Rey a really cool character. It's possible. I doubt it, but it's possible. You have to tap into the fan service now a little bit to get those people back, because when those people start talking about Star Wars again and they're excited about it and they think it's good, that brings the general audience like, hey, that everybody's saying that sounds really cool. I got to check that out. And then if they like it, now you're on an upward trend. Will they do that? Probably not.
So Disney will be willing to kill themselves rather than make changes. Like, I mean, why don't
it's because they're in this like weird ideological battle where they're like, if we admit that the things we made aren't good, then these racist people win.
That's bullshit.
Like,
that's bullshit.
100%.
Motherfucker, stop with your fucking pride. Right? You know what? I always said, like, when you have an ego, you lose everything. You lose everything, and you can't see the open-mindedness. And sometimes, didn't he even say in the Spider-Man movie, like, you got to give up your dreams and whatever. Like just fuck the fucking pride bullshit, bro, and broettes or whatever, dude and dudettes. Just fucking and look at what was successful for Disney. Shit that they never wanted to do. Deadpool and Wolverine, most successful fucking thing ever. gave them a little bit of a taste of how much it was like to make that kind of money. So why don't you do more of it? Why do you got to put out? And we've talked about this. I said it. I don't remember if you said it, like Captain America. I said that's going to be shit.
It's
right?
probably going to be, yeah.
I said that. Cancel that. Remember how we would do when we went over the movie list, and I said before, I said, "Oh, Inhumans canceled that movie, and they made it a TV show, and still fucking suck."
Yeah.
Captain America. You know what? Not for nothing, but
do you know how much money that they've put into
350 million plus?
It's more than that now. Yeah.
520.
Do you know how much that needs to make?
1,965 million, really.
Yeah, I think it's around something like that. Yeah.
Right, correct. Yes. So here's the thing, right? You're not trying to be Captain America. He's trying to be Falcon and Captain America.
Yeah.
You're not Falcon and Captain America. If either you're Captain America or you're not Captain America. You can't be Falcon and Captain America. Okay? That's where they went fucking wrong. Okay? Because he's got to be different. There's been other people who want to be different with the mantle Captain America. Why do you motherfucker got to be different? Why do you got to fly? Captain America.
Also, somebody has to explain to me, like, allegedly, did you see that leaked scene from Comic-Con with the Red Hulk?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Okay. So allegedly that scene takes place, and potential spoiler for Captain America Brave New World. So if you don't want to know, stop watching now. Joe, are you okay with me saying this?
Yeah.
Allegedly that scene is him addressing the nation.
Yeah.
And he turns into the Red Hulk. So
yeah.
Now somebody has to explain to me. Don't you think that would make some people like, well, then maybe you shouldn't be president?
Well, I mean,
because the president's a giant monster.
Well, I mean, can we do spoilers or no?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
I mean, he's not the president after that because they don't allow it, right?
No, he is the president after that.
No, after that, ending after that, the end of the movie after that.
Oh, well, it depends on how the most recent reshoots go, because allegedly in Thunderbolts he's still the president and he orders them to get the adamantium on Tiamat Island.
Oh, okay. So here, this is what the problem is. Okay, the problem is now we're going to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. All right, a little bit, right?
Yeah,
I
have to, I guess. Yeah.
Look, I loved WandaVision. I thought it was perfect. Loki, I love second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never fucking liked Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, there was elements that were cool, but I never liked it, right? And I'm like, I didn't even know why they did it. I felt that wouldn't have made sense. It would never have worked. That, Secret Invasion, all this shit that they tried to do. Werewolf by Night, yes, right? And Moon Knight, yes. But She-Hulk, no. Ms. Marvel, no. Marvels. First of all, you got shit that didn't work. Now you put shit into movie form, it still doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Ironheart, no.
They need to cancel that. They need to cancel Ironheart.
First of all, there can't be an Armor Wars in the comics has Tony Stark involved in that. You can't do it with Rhodey, and now that you don't even know what Rhodey is, we may not even know what Rhodey's what. Like, was he in Endgame? Was he in Infinity War? What? We're so fucking confused.
I think Armor Wars got canceled. Like,
I hope so. So, okay, even Blade, cancel it because
Blade's not coming out anyway.
So, and I wasn't even a fan of Thunderbolts either. Right? So
yeah,
I'm like, I always said Captain America cancel, Armor Wars cancel, Ironheart cancel, Thunderbolts cancel. Those are your failures, right? And I always said when it came to Disney Plus, right? What are they doing? Right? WandaVision, the most successful of all the Disney Plus, right? as far as I'm concerned. You give it a spinoff, Agatha. And as far as I know, despite what some haters are saying, I think it's doing well, I believe, right? Or somewhat.
Nobody's talking about it.
What do you mean? It's all over the place. You don't think
I haven't seen a thing about it.
Oh. That, first of all, we have a third spinoff from WandaVision, Vision Quest, right?
Right.
Now we have a fourth spinoff about searching for Wanda's other kid, right? And then you kill Scarlet Witch. Why is Scarlet Witch dead? Like, most fucking popular character, they ruined her, right? Now give her a movie because she's the only one
I don't think Elizabeth Olsen wants to come back.
I thought she said absolutely. I saw an interview. What do you mean?
No, she did another interview where she said that they changed the script for Multiverse of Madness so many times that she stopped reading the scripts. And after that, she was like, meh.
Oh, I thought I just saw something yesterday that said because she's the only one who can beat Doctor Doom.
She ain't beating Doctor Doom now.
So who's gonna beat it? Tom Holland?
Yes.
Oh God.
Well. You know what the rumor is now, right? No. You know what the rumor is now, right?
What's the new rumor?
Have you heard what Spider-Man 4 is going to be?
Oh, the fucking King in Black?
The King in Black, right.
Yeah. So, you know what that's called? That's called We're Fucked, Disney. Yep. So let's give Sony everything they want so we can put their characters in our movie because we can't lose. We're losing everything. So whatever you want, right Sony.
I'm going to tell you right now before I get to the other rumor.
The movie's fucked.
When it was implied that the next Spider-Man movie was going to be Spider-Man himself dealing with a threat, I was like, yes, that's
well, me too. Me too.
And
to
now
a point.
They're going back to the fucking multiverse bullshit, and I'm like, I just don't care anymore.
Well, here's the thing: I wanted Spider-Man by himself, but I wanted it where it made sense. Yes. Where this is Peter Parker, this is where he works, whether it be Daily Bugle, whatever, and then some villain comes along and he learns a lesson, and this one, right? But you tied him in so much as the biggest fucking thing in the MCU that if he would have did what they were going to do, like street crime bullshit, that shit would have fucking failed immediately. Like just him and Daredevil and whatever. No, don't. First of all, he's got to be by himself with nobody, right? And he's got to be himself as Spider-Man. And all right, you want to throw Black Cat into it? Okay, sure, right?
But they're not going to do that now because you know what the other rumor is?
No. I know what the rumor is, that at the end of Venom 3, right, that universe is destroyed, and he comes to our universe after fucking Null.
No.
No?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. No.
What?
The rumor is that they told them you have to bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Oh, because that made the money. Of course.
So now I am not interested at all. I'm like, cool. I'm not going to see that.
But it has to make sense why they're in it. Like, if it was, hey, that fucking spell fucked shit up, and where's Doctor Strange? Because we got to fix this. Because my universe is fucked. Vulture's running around from your universe. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But no, it's not any of that, probably.
Well, I want to address what Unknown said, too, because they'll be in Secret Wars. That makes sense to me, because it's like everybody's going to be in that. But that's the other rumor I was alluding to before. After Secret Wars, apparently everything gets rebooted.
Yes. Which is fucked.
Which, who knows at that point, you know?
No, it's bad. It's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Because when they did in the comics, it was fucked. So, because then it allows them to do whatever canon they want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no good. So, while I loved the Spider-Man movie, was not happy they killed fucking Aunt May. That pissed me the fuck off. and I definitely am not a fan of the original thing that happened in the comic where that happened, and they're still trying to fix it in the comic today, like with
Right.
the everybody forgot who he was shit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of Doctor Strange originally; it was because of Mephisto originally, and they changed it in the comics to be Doctor Strange. And now I saw an interview. The comics fucked beyond belief now, because now I mean I stopped. I don't know if you know I stopped collecting comics,
Oh
which is
yeah.
great. But now what do we have? Doctor Doom, Sorcerer Supreme, and his fucking number one man is Spider-Man. That he gives him a Spider-Man suit of mystical armor with green webs, and gives him 8 lives. Is that Spider-Man? No, I don't know what the fuck that is, but
Spider-Man has regenerations confirmed.
Correct, and he's going to fight the Crimson Bands of Cytorax, whatever the fuck, because Doctor Doom's busy.
Oh,
Like and again, all this bullshit happens before Amazing Spider-Man 1000, which again, the comic is so fucked because he called Mary Jane like his sister because she had a relationship with the dude. Then they turned the dude into a woman because he didn't want to be a man anymore or some shit. And I'm like, wait, what? And then he was with the Black Cat. Now he's with some other lady. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's just so fucked up. It's unrecognizable. And I'm glad I dumped it. It's just I didn't want to dump it. It was just a long story, but
did you see those special comic covers where it was Godzilla fighting all the MCU heroes or the Marvel heroes?
No, I did see they did the DC heroes did fight Godzilla. I saw
that one was phenomenal.
Yeah,
that comic, it was awesome.
But you know, though, if this happened recently with Godzilla versus the Marvel heroes,
yes.
Because Disney has got to deal with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Because Warner Brothers is failing, and now they package them together with, "Hey, we'll help you with your streaming service.
Oh, it's the Max Disney Plus thing. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
So that's why they got a partnership bullshit now.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go,
dude. I don't want to spoil anything, but like, Godzilla almost kills Superman in that.
I know.
It's awesome.
But shit is weird now because isn't aliens fighting fucking Avengers now?
Yes, and they beat the Avengers. Somehow the Avengers lost.
But didn't the symbiote stop the face hugger, like the Venom symbiote?
I think so. Yeah, I think it did. I think there was something about that because they said that the Venom symbiote was like the counter to the Xenomorphs, and I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Tom Cruise being fucking Iron Man is like fucking Tom Cruise being Austin Powers.
Tom Cruise is Iron Man. I think he was the Iron Man in the universe that Doctor Strange went to with the Illuminati.
Is that what it was originally?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I got to tell you, you know I'm a huge Scarlet Witch fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was pissed that they did that to her, but I do got to say she looked amazing. Like she looked like she was a great villain, by the way. But I was pissed.
She was a good villain. It's just I wish Sam Raimi would have watched WandaVision. You know what I mean?
Like, we all said that. Remember that? And he fucking
that's unreal.
It. My son met him. And,
oh, yeah?
I was talking to him about seeing if he was going to do Spider-Man. I think he just got hired for Doctor Strange 3, though, right? Or he's going to be doing Doctor Strange.
He's doing something like that. Yeah, I don't remember what it was exactly, but yeah.
Listen, Sony, this is what makes no sense with Sony, right? Why isn't
Kraven
Sony
the Hunter?
No, fuck these movies. Why isn't Sony doing Spider-Man 4 and Amazing Spider-Man 3? We won't get confused. Why not?
Because they don't like money. They don't like making money. That's got to be what it is. Because why else wouldn't you do that?
If you and I helped Sony and made all these things possible, they'd be rich, beyond rich. I mean, they are rich with Sony PlayStation, but I mean, how much money are you going to divert?
I think we would definitely make something that the fans liked. Like, I think it would be like, yeah, it may not be perfect.
That poor PlayStation that poor PlayStation is bailing out their movie division every fucking 5 minutes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. Ridiculous.
And they got Kraven coming out in like what, December?
Craven sucks
November?
too. That's
It's
another
gonna be
thing.
terrible. It's gonna be fucking terrible.
Could you stop making Russell Crowe be the dad of everybody?
Do you notice
Superman's
Russell
dad,
Crowe?
Craven's dad. Like,
Do you notice that Russell Crowe is either like someone's dad or he's in a movie about like being Catholic? Have
Right.
you noticed that recently?
right?
Like,
You
no offense
find
to anybody who's Catholic,
demons
but like,
and the Exorcist,
yeah.
right? Right.
Yeah.
Like, or you're Zeus. You're either God or you're fighting demons, or you're someone's dad. Like,
it's weird.
God.
I saw a trailer for that movie Exorcism today, and I was like, "Is that Russell Crowe again?" Like, what?
Well, he was in. Was he in a couple movies like that?
Yeah, he was in The Pope's Exorcist, and then he's in another one called like Exorcism or The Exorcism or something.
Talk about typecasting. Jesus Christ.
Do you know that they tried to make that movie, The Pope's Exorcist? Do you know that they tried to make that like a cinematic universe?
Oh no.
Because at the end of the movie, he's like, "There's other demons that we have to exorcise."
Are you
and it's
serious?
Like, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Please don't. Please. Didn't they try to do that with The Conjuring, and that movie fucked up? That
Oh, they
Conjuring
did
movie
that with The Conjuring.
bombed,
It just didn't. It didn't
But
do
that-
well. Yeah,
but some of them bombed, right?
yeah, yep.
Oh.
They were gonna have one. I heard a rumor.
They were
I
gonna
don't
do
know
the
how-
G.I. Joe one. They fucked that up with Snake Eyes. Remember that?
Oh, let me tell you, that G.I. Joe thing, they confirmed that the next Transformers movie is the crossover.
Oh God. And Transformers. Then they fucked that up with the new animated. Is that
So apparently the new one's really good. It just nobody went to see it.
what the Transformers?
Transformers 1.
But they're not friends. That's bullshit.
So
That's
They
complete
were-
bullshit.
no, they were friends, but not the way that this movie portrays it. Like in the
Jesus
original canon,
Christ.
they were not like
Like that.
Yeah.
No. All right. That's just ridiculous. First of all, you can't have, like, you and I know this. If G.I. Joe is not established,
Uh-huh.
you can't put them in a crossover with Transformers. Like,
Agreed.
G.I. Joe has to be established. Like, you need to lay down the rules of, let's do a reboot. This is G.I. Joe 1. This is G.I. Joe 2. This is G.I. Joe 3. Fourth one, there's your crossover, right? Just like you're building up the Monster Vision, and you can't just. We have a whole new generation, and all they know is the failure of G.I. Joe. They don't know the success of G.I. Joe. They don't go back to watch the original cartoon. So you need to reintroduce this new generation into G.I. Joe. But you have to do it where it honors the show and it's perfect. No bullshit. Like, Cobra Commander needs to be sounding like that, a fucking dick to everybody, right? Like, and Destro's powerfully rich and
Well, you know what they're doing. You know what they're doing, right? Like and you probably figured this out already. They're doing this in a crossover so that they hope that, oh, people really like G.I. Joe. Let's make it its own movie. They're using it as a launch pad. But here's the thing, though. Like, here's the really sad part about this, right? I guarantee you that the generation that's like would go see this stuff today, like the younger generation, they would look at G.I. Joe and they would be like, you know what? Cobra's right.
Oh, yeah.
Cobra's they're not terrorists. They're right.
Thanos is right, they're fucking bugs.
I'm telling you, dude, they would be like, you know what? Cobra's trying to destroy America. They're probably right. Because there is no way that G.I. Joe in the form it used to be would get over today. No way. No way.
No.
And I really hate saying that. I really do.
It's
like,
true,
pains
though.
me to say that, though. Like, it's really unfortunate.
Listen, when I was a kid and I watched G.I. Joe, what was the biggest thing for G.I. Joe? It was fucking Cobra Commander, the bad guys.
What?
The good guys beating the bad guys, but the bad
Right.
guys were the main shit that you fucking... When Cobra Commander was dethroned and became a snake, and Serpentor, I was like, fuck. And
Yeah.
fuck this, right? And it went downhill. The fucking show went to shit that they had to do this whole fucking backstory that Cobra Commander wasn't even fucking human and this fucking Cobra Law and all this shit. And then they brought him back and they turned Serpentor into a fucking shitty snake. They reversed it. And G.I. Joe team members had to help Cobra Commander.
Yep.
Remember that shit? Ridiculous.
Oh, I'm telling you, dude, it would be the biggest, like, this is American propaganda, like, immediately.
That when G.I. Joe before was like a fucking series and it was like whatever they called it, like little animated movies.
Yep.
Like, and the Weather Dominator machine and shit. That shit was so fucking deep, right? And so good, right?
Yep.
And then they made series, right? But that shit was like fucking like at the time was mind-boggling how fucking good that was. This wasn't like watching fucking Bugs Bunny or this is like serious fucking animation, right? Like serious shit. And it was great. It was great. And then eventually went to shit.
You want to know why I say that too? I just thought of this, like, this may have been like subconsciously what I was thinking of too. I keep seeing posts and a video or two about like people talking about Transformers 1. And they're literally like, Megatron was right. And I'm like, listen to me. I'm like, listen.
It's sad.
I'm like, listen, if you're going to try to sell me that Optimus Prime is a criminal and Megatron is right, you need a fucking CAT scan.
That's what they're doing with the Jedi. The Jedi are evil bastards. This guy made you dinner and healed your wounds. Go in the lake with him. Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck? I mean, if you saw that, I don't know if you saw that scene, but didn't it bother you? Like, that? Those are your fucking friends, right? Why isn't she killing this motherfucker? Like,
well, I was like, this is.
She was like moored by his naked body. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is sick. It was sick.
This isn't Star Wars. It's not like we don't need this in Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like,
she was hot for him and fuck her friends that died. Like, what the fuck? Honestly,
it's weird.
And seeing that with the lightsaber, that was the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
What? Where it changed color?
Like, that's never happened like that.
So here's a fact for you. That's her bleeding the crystal.
Okay.
Which is not how that works at all.
Correct. I know that. That's why it was weird to see that. Right.
Yep.
But so let me ask you a question because this was annoying at me. You know how like Han Solo just took the fucking lightsaber, ignited it, and cut the fucking tauntaun open to keep warm?
Yes. Yep.
And he's not Jedi sensitive at all, but he.
Yep.
Like, so that wouldn't work with somebody that's not Jedi sensitive. Like, if he's fucking evil and just the saber turns. Well, first of all, people that are not Jedi are not supposed to have lightsabers, really.
Anybody can use a lightsaber. It's just you have to be force sensitive to use it well.
Correct.
Right. No. So somebody who is not force sensitive would not be able to bleed a crystal. But then again, somebody who's force sensitive who tries to bleed a crystal, it's a very difficult and dangerous process. When Vader tried to do it, he almost died.
Right. So how does that work if, let's say, they turn good? The crystal just turns different color.
The crystal, so it has it already been bled?
Yeah.
It would turn white.
Okay.
That's why Ahsoka's lightsabers are white. She unbled 2 crystals that were bled, and they turn white.
Got it. Okay. But she's not a Jedi. She's just whatever.
She is again. Now she is, yes.
She is a Jedi again?
Now she is, yeah.
I don't know. So
because she's training Sabine, which I want to point out, I don't ever recall Sabine being force sensitive in Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So her being force sensitive now is like
A late
That makes
bloomer.
her the second Mandalorian to ever be Force sensitive that we know of. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
So we covered G.I. Joe, Transformers a little bit. Well, it's Transformers now. So now, after this animated movie, what is there? Is there a live action?
the G.I. Joe crossover is apparently next.
Oh God, that's next.
Yep.
But live action, right?
Yep.
But based on what Transformers?
The Rise of the Beasts. It'd be a sequel to Rise of the Beasts.
Now, Rise of the Beasts is connected to Bumblebee or no?
Bumblebee. It's connected to Bumblebee.
It is. So
Yes.
Bumblebee's the new universe?
Bumblebee was not meant to be a new universe, but after the last night failed, they decided to make it its own thing. Yeah.
So that's not even canon anymore, like according to Transformers.
Well, actually, so here's the controversy with that, right? There was a press conference that they had at like a screening of Rise of the Beasts, right?
Okay.
And they had the director and like key players from the movie. I think the cast was there. And then they had Lorenzo de Bonaventura, who is like in charge of this stuff, I think at Paramount or something.
Okay.
And he took over the mic when somebody asked a question, and he flat out said, the Michael Bay movies are still canon to this universe.
How could that be?
And it makes no sense whatsoever. None.
How could that be? How could that be?
It can't. Because in the last night, Unicron was in the core of the Earth.
Right.
And as you know, in Rise of the Beasts, they went back to his original origin where he was a spacefaring monster that ate planets.
Wait, so Rise of the Beast is a prequel, or is it?
So allegedly, Bumblebee and Transformers Rise of the Beasts are prequels to the 2007 Transformers and on to The Last Night.
So Last Night's the most recent.
That was 2017, I think.
No,
yeah.
I mean from canon-wise, that's going to lead into G.I. Joe?
No, the Rise of the Beast is going to lead into the G.I. Joe crossover. So if we're looking at this from the way Lorenzo de Bonaventura is looking at it, the G.I. Joe team exists in the Transformers universe that whole time. And they never get involved
with each other.
Any of the Earth-ending situations that took place in Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, and The Last Night.
When I was a kid, right, there was a Transformers episode. I don't know if you ever seen it, where this guy called Snake fucked up the Transformers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out at the end of the animated, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do, yeah.
At the end of the episode, Snake was actually Cobra Commander, but like old, and he jumps up to go Cobra, and he coughs or whatever.
Yep.
To imply that Cobra Commander fucked up the Transformers, but they never had a crossover, like ever.
Right.
Other than that one thing that took place, I guess, in 2000 and whatever, because they did a time jump.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out because they never really had a crossover where Cobra and Decepticons teamed up.
They did. They did in the comics
books. Yeah, I know that, but not in the. Yeah, and then the He-Man thing is still happening. The live action.
I guess.
All right, so we did G.I. Joe, we did Star Wars. Oh, MCU. Let's just talk a little briefly about the Doctor Doom thing.
Sure.
What the fuck are they thinking? Is it that bad that they need to bring him back?
I think it is
because of Kang Conqueror thing. That's fucking bad.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you, like, when I saw that like that reveal, like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Victor Von Doom, I really had to stop and I was like, okay, So he's actually playing Victor Von Doom, not a variant of Tony Stark that becomes Doctor Doom.
Right.
So that means that he is like, allegedly it's in the Fantastic Four universe.
Yeah, because he appears in the Fantastic Four movie at the end.
Yeah, that's the rumor. So okay. Are you trying to tell me that this is a variant of Tony Stark who's named Victor Von Doom? Or that Victor Von Doom just happens to look like Tony Stark in this universe?
See, the problem is, and this is where you get to define who's a real comic book fan and who's not. Okay.
Right.
Doctor Doom. Well, before Doctor Doom, it was Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom in school together, right? I guess in college. And they had an experiment, but Victor Von Doom believed that his calculation was correct. And he went with it instead of Reed's. And it wasn't. And he basically disfigured his face, right? Then he goes off to Latveria, and the monks scold the fucking mask because his face is decrepit anyway. So they mold the mask to his fucking face or whatever, and then he doesn't have a normal. He takes it off. He looks like a goddamn monster, like he's fucked up, right? So this is why he wears the mask, not because he's cool, not because it's Iron Man. His face is fucked up, and he has this rivalry with Steve Richards for decades that he's smarter than him. It's his fault. He's a piece of shit. While him believing that he's the good guy, Victor Von Doom. And he's also got this thing in the background that they hardly talked about, that his mother's a sorceress.
Right.
And that she is the prisoner of Mephisto or whatever demon entity, that he's got this magic thing background that he uses to get out of jams sometimes, right? Like body swapping or whatever. So it's not supposed to be that he takes a mask off, let's say, because I'm been hearing about this, and I'm like, they're going to do this 100%. He's going to fight Spider-Man. Spider-Man's going to knock his mask off. He's going to look like completely fucking Robert Downey Jr. normal, no disfigurement whatsoever. Mr. Stark! And he's going to lose. Because it's not Tony Stark. And he's going to...
The movie's called Avengers Doomsday as well, so I mean...
He's going to lose because he fucks up. Because it's not... But here's the thing. How is that possible? How are they going to do this where it's going to make sense that Victor Von Doom looks like that? He's supposed to... It's not supposed to be that way. If he knocks the mask off, he's supposed to be disfigured where you can't even recognize him anyway.
I don't know.
I don't understand how. And the only thing that would make sense is things are going fucking bad, and then they cut to the scene where Captain America, Steve Rogers, is bringing the last gem back to fucking the Red Skull, and finds out it's the Red Skull, and then doesn't want to give the gem because he's a fucking Nazi. And it doesn't matter what the fuck it is. That's his nemesis. And then supposedly somebody steps in, like either Loki or whatever, and say, we need you to stop Doctor Doom. And but this one's dead. This one's dead. That's okay. And then they just pluck everybody out of time or whatever. And then you got because somehow, some way.
Well, apparently
the Avengers are supposed to fall. And the original Avengers are supposed to step in.
Yeah, apparently the TVA is going to be saving like these quote-unquote anchor beings, one of which we know is Wolverine. Apparently Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man is another one. Tom Holland is, I guess, another one. And then I guess they put together a team because there's a rumor that there's going to be Battleworld and there's going to be a bunch of movies on Battleworld. And so I don't know.
Battleworld is where Deadpool and Wolverine were with Cassandra Nova.
No, that was the Void.
But isn't the Void going to be Battleworld?
No, apparently Battleworld's going to be something completely different.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently there's supposed to be, if the rumors are true, there are supposed to be movies set on Battleworld where it's like, kind of like the way Doctor Doom put together like that kind of Frankenstein Earth in the comics.
Right.
I guess it's supposed to kind of.
But
be
aren't they
like
going to have Robert Downey Jr. back as Iron Man to defeat Doctor Doom?
Honestly, at this
that's
point,
what I heard.
I have no idea. I mean, I would hope so.
That's what I heard. So Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Victor Von Doom, looking like Tony Stark.
They said he's playing. They said he's playing Victor Von Doom.
So he shouldn't. They shouldn't have that scene. They can't have that scene. But you know they're going to do that scene. They can't have the scene where. Yeah.
They're going to do it because from our perspective, that's Tony Stark. You know, like.
But like he can't wear the. It's just it doesn't. So they're not going to make it that him and Reed Richards were like rivalries or whatever. Like
I think they are. I'm starting to think now that's why they cast Pedro Pascal so that they could be around the same age. Because if you notice, Pedro Pascal is noticeably older than the other members of the Fantastic Four.
But is he? Are they from our universe?
No.
Or are they from it? No.
They're from it's confirmed that the Fantastic Four takes place in a completely separate universe in the MCU.
And their universe gets destroyed, or they come to ours? Obviously, they're going to be merged with ours.
They're supposed to come to our universe in Avengers Doomsday, and then after Secret Wars, they will be part of the newly rebooted universe.
Which is, who the fuck knows that's going to be, because they're all going to be recast. Everybody. Probably.
I think some people are going to be recast, but others are not.
So in other words, this is an opportunity for them to do a new Spider-Man movie with a new Spider-Man after this?
Oh, potentially, if Tom Holland doesn't want to come back, yes, that would be their opportunity to say, okay, here's the new Spider-Man actor.
But now, is this Spider-Man movie for Secret Wars, or is it for Spider-Verse live action?
You mean like the Miles Morales thing?
No, because I heard definitively that he said he will not do any Spider-Man movie that has Miles Morales in it. Like
who's that?
Tom Holland, I heard.
I don't know about that.
I heard that he said he will not pass the torch. He's going to be Spider-Man for years to come, and if they introduce Miles Morales, he's not going to do it because he doesn't want anything that's going to be potentially.
So I don't know about that. I see your comment, Unknown. There are ways he could potentially get out of that if he doesn't want to do it. And there's some things in that contract that, you know, some of the appearances could be considered his.
Well, why is Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield there? For what? For Noel?
In Secret Wars or in the next one?
No, in the Spider-Man movie.
Because apparently they were told they had to be in it. Like they were either Sony told.
No, I know they're going to be. But we know they're going to be. But what is the reasoning story-wise they're in it? Like Spider-Verse or
multiverse bullshit. That literally, that's what it's going to be. It's like
connected with Secret Wars or this own Sony thing.
This is probably its own thing, but they're going to be in Secret Wars, like Unknown.
I know that, but I'm just like I'm trying to figure out because, like, is that Vulture thing still going on, or is that just not? They don't care about that anymore.
Normally, I would say no, but since they're letting Kraven the Hunter come out, I guess that's still.
But Kraven the Hunter. Here's the thing, right? They're making Kraven the Hunter a good guy in this, right?
They are. Rhino's the villain.
But he's not a good guy, Kraven. He's a bastard. He's a fucking evil bastard.
We know that, yeah.
And he's not with PETA. He fucking kills animals and wears their fur, not fake fur. It's like fucking, like, he's a fucking miserable fuck.
You want to know what it is? Like,
they're not supposed to be likable. It's not like, okay, this is not what Sam Raimi would do, because Sam Raimi's like, oh, I want to see the good in people. How could this be? No, Kraven the Hunter is just a fucking. Anybody that
If-
buries anybody alive is a bastard, right? He's not a nice person.
If anybody with comic knowledge made this movie, they would have made it rated R, and it would have been Kraven fucking up a bunch of animals and being a miserable, like you're saying, and that would have been cool. That would have been like,
he would beat a puppy.
Yes,
he's a bastard. Like I've read every fucking comic there is, and originally that don't talk about how they make him fucking soft now, but like he's a scumbag. Like and it was like, yeah, Spider-Man beat his ass because he's a scumbag, right? You're supposed to hate his fucking guts that they made him a scumbag all this time. Now you want to make him a hero. It makes no.
They don't know. They have people making decisions who are not fans of the comics, and
you can never have him fight Spider-Man.
They've got literally all they have the licenses to all of these villains, and they're like, what could we do with this one? And they're like, wouldn't it be cool if it was? And it's like,
wouldn't it be cool? Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would be like
fucking up Kraven Hunter.
The equivalent of this would be like, we're gonna make a Gigan movie in the MonsterVerse, but Gigan's gonna save the city. You'd be like, what? Right.
Well, just like now, these rumors are unbelievable, right? Like they're like, oh, how do we hire the Black Cat? Well, we're gonna hire by breast size. Like, wait, what?
So you want to know what's funny about that? You want to know what's funny about that? Did you hear who's rumored to play Black Cat in the MCU?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest one there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in fucking Madam Web.
There you go.
Yeah. Because that's all they look at.
Yeah.
They don't look at the acting ability. I mean, in the comics, how many times? Black Cat. That's all you saw. Right?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like,
no, I agree, but
I'll watch it. But you know what?
But here's the thing: if you you got to have time to develop a character, and you can't develop a character in 5 minutes. It's got to be her father was this cat burglar, and Spider-Man, right? And then this is the daughter, and then she's a criminal, and then he gets her not to be a criminal and be a hero.
There's
with him.
no
and
way.
Then you have a romance, and then they inseparable with each other, because if he's not with Mary Jane, he's with the Black Cat. And don't tell me differently, because in every fucking comic that I've read, thousands and thousands and thousands of comics, if he's not with Mary Jane, he's with the Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. And that's the way it's always been.
They ain't gonna do that, dude.
Always been.
They're gonna rewrite her origin story like the minute they're like, yeah, we want Black Cat. She's gonna be something else immediately.
It's funny. It's like I read something. The people that are in charge of Spider-Man, they're like, oh, Peter Parker can never marry Mary Jane ever again. Never going to happen in a century, right? But then the most successful comic book is the alternate new universe, Ultimate Spider-Man, where he's married to Mary Jane, right? But no,
people want to be happy. They want to see these people together.
But their thing is like, oh, we can't make them marry because then he can't be Spider-Man in his 20s, right? Let me tell you something. Eventually, Tom Holland is not going to look like he's 20. Let's face facts. And he's still going to be Spider-Man.
Hey, man, digital de-aging is a thing, though.
Oh, I have a question for you. I'm going to switch topics.
Sure.
Just for a second. So, explain to me, because you have to be the expert on this, why did Disney remove all the Indiana Jones movies from Disney? Except their own.
So
what's the real reason behind it?
It may be like a license thing. Like maybe they may have like a contract maybe with another one that says like,
so they don't own. So in other words, Indiana Jones isn't owned by George Lucas because he did it with Steven Spielberg, right? So
I don't know the details of
Paramount.
That, If you're gonna ask me why I think they took it off there, it was because of how much of a bomb Dial of Destiny was. That's
No, but the thing is, they took off the original Indiana Jones movies and left Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
So-
think that was done by design, but I have no.
I
evidence
don't
to
think
back
so.
that up, though.
Because there was okay. I don't think so, but all right. So we have to find out the real reason.
Officially, though, they probably took it off there because they maybe were only allowed to have it on there for a limited amount of time or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
I would imagine that's probably the reason.
I still haven't seen that movie to this day.
Oh, I'm not gonna watch it.
I should, but
A friend of mine told me what happened in the movie, and I was like, "Wow, this is terrible."
me too. All right. So let me ask you a question. Have you seen Agatha?
No, I canceled Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had
All right.
Disney Plus for months because there's legitimately nothing I care about with Disney anymore.
See, the thing is, I because I like WandaVision. So Agatha, I love Agatha. So, but it's better, but it's its own thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't really looked if it's a super success or whatever, but
I really don't think it is because I've not seen anybody talking about it.
And that's so weird because every time I put something on, I see them talking about it constantly. It's either the actresses are doing shit together or they're on.
Oh, I'm talking about like social media people, like the people that would normally like review it and stuff.
Nobody reviewing it.
Nobody is talking. They did
Why
the
is
first
that?
2 episodes, and then it was like
Nobody's talking about it. Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. Even I wanted to talk about it. I didn't talk about it. I'm like, okay.
I think that everybody is so drained on Marvel that I go back to what I said years ago, and a lot of people said it wasn't just me. I think they really should have taken a break after Endgame.
Oh yeah.
For a few like a year or two.
That Black Widow movie should have never came out.
Yeah.
100%. Never came out. Should have never came out.
I think
that's what started that whole. See, now that's the thing. That started a whole battle with her.
Yep.
She wins. They give her everything she wants.
Yep.
And in fact, they give her roles from other movies because they fucked up. And now they need her again.
Oh.
To do everything.
You just reminded me of something we have to talk about.
Go ahead.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yes. She's the headliner of it.
I
gotta tell you what before you say anything.
Yeah.
I didn't see the last one.
It's horrible.
I know, but okay, so go ahead, talk to it.
I have a very bad feeling that they are gonna do something extremely abstract in this next Jurassic World movie.
Now this is still all of them are canon still, right?
Yes, this takes place 5 years after the last one.
Okay.
Now, Gareth Edwards is directing it, which gives me hope because Gareth Edwards, I love a lot of his movies.
Didn't he do Godzilla stuff?
He did Godzilla 2014.
Yes.
He did Monsters. He kind of did Rogue One.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I have to watch The Creator because he did The Creator as well.
Okay.
The synopsis of the movie, there's no spoilers. Like, I don't have any spoilers for this movie. But they said that apparently they uncover some kind of hidden dark secret that's been around since the first Jurassic Park and before that.
Dark secret?
Joe, dude, I have a very bad feeling.
That you have the fucking the DNA in a fucking shaving cream can? Like what?
No.
Huh.
Because technically what they're talking about would be before that happened.
What?
I have a very bad feeling that they're going to be human dinosaur hybrids.
Oh, no.
I have a very
very
bad feeling that that's where we're going.
Oh, really?
Or they're going to go the route of the super plague. The super plague. There was a whole storyline that they were going to do where they're like when they brought the dinosaurs back, that they were going to discover that there was some sort of super virus that the dinosaurs
like Planet of the Apes? Like it kills humankind?
Yes, and dinosaurs too, But I have a very bad feeling that they're gonna find human dinosaur hybrids.
Oh fuck!
I don't know.
This is the first of what, 3, right?
Well, they want it to be a trilogy, but I'll tell you what though, right? Apparently, it was like, I don't know who is making it right now. I think is that Paramount? I don't remember.
Universal.
Universal. I'm sorry, Universal. They apparently told people, you have to get this movie out by 2025. We need it out as fast as you can.
Why?
I don't know.
Because Universal ain't doing dick right now.
I guess.
Did you hear that this motherfucker, and there's only one person I'm talking about when I say this motherfucker, who's fucked every fucking franchise up ever. This motherfucker, without permission, is going to do his own Back to the Future, but it not be Back to the Future.
Are we talking about J.J. Abrams?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This motherfucker. That's what I said. There's only one person, the fucking franchise killer, Mr. Cloverfield, that he lost the rights. They have fucking Twilight Zone search on Cloverfield.
That's supposed to be coming out sometime too.
But is it Cloverfield as Twilight Zone bullshit or actual Cloverfield?
No, like the monster. Like
Cloverfield.
Like,
All right, that's fine, Nick. You fucked that up too. But so he's gonna do the Back to the Future with it, like, but it not be. But I guess a different car or a different whatever.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's a fucking mistake. That's a fucking mistake. He's still doing the Black Superman too?
I think James Gunn quietly put the kibosh on that.
Okay.
I think he was like, nah. Like, because
let's talk about now we're talking about DC a little bit.
We got to talk about that. Yeah.
Yes. We know what we're going to talk about. I didn't see it.
What?
Did you see it? Joker?
No, but I know the whole movie though.
So, who's the one that fucked this movie up? Is it Joaquin? Okay.
So, allegedly, Todd Phillips, Todd Phillips, he didn't want to do a sequel.
Right.
He didn't want to do it.
Right.
And allegedly, the rumor right now is, and again, I have no evidence for this, but apparently Warner Brothers came to him and was like, we need you to do a sequel to Joker, or we want you to do a sequel to Joker because it made $1 billion, you know?
Right.
And he was like, I'll only do it if you give me a $200 million budget and give me like creative control over the whole thing, right? And I guess he said that as like they're never going to agree to this, and then they won't ask me to do the movie, right? And apparently they were like, done and done.
Shit.
And he was like, fuck, right?
Because he wasn't prepared for that.
Well, here's the thing. This is something I can definitely say. Because I heard this on another show before.
This guy will never get a job again. Okay.
No, wait, hold on. Wait. You might have more sympathy for him after this. Apparently, the idea for this movie came to Joaquin Phoenix in a dream.
Oh, fuck this. This.
And somebody, again, allegedly, take this with a grain of salt. Somebody who worked on the movie, they were asked, who was this movie made for? And their answer was Joaquin.
Fuck.
This is for him. This is his thing.
Fuck that.
Do you want to know what's crazy? Do you want to know like something really crazy?
Yes.
Do you want to watch the movie?
I know everything about what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So then you know.
Yeah.
Spoilers,
I know everything. I know everything.
If you don't want to know,
don't worry.
Joaquin Phoenix is not really the Joker.
Yeah, I know. That's fucking bullshit, but okay.
Yeah.
You're schmuck. This is like so fucked up because like if it doesn't count, then why are we watching it?
I don't know.
We're not. This is why. You know. I've been watching today because I'm just fascinated with this. Right. Yeah. I was watching TikToks and YouTube videos. First time I've ever seen this in my whole existence, that a movie could piss off so many people so much that they leave in the middle of the movie, right? I'm watching TikToks of people talking to other people as they're walking out of the movie, and then I'll like it, and they leave in the middle of the movie, like it betrayed their whole universe.
It did. It really did.
So why the fuck? Because this is like checks and balances. How come there's not somebody that stops this from happening and realizes that this is not what fans want?
Because Warner Brothers said if Todd Phillips made us $1 billion with the first one, he'll do it with the second one.
But it was a fluke that he did it. Like, I mean, it was a good movie, but
it wasn't a fluke because it's
not a fluke. Okay, it was a good movie
to the audience.
But here's the thing. In my brain, I'd be like, well, when is Batman going to come into play? So in other words, I would envision, okay, now we're going to see more about the Joker and how he gets closer to being the Joker we know, and then Batman fights him, and never happened.
That's not the point, though. That's not the point, though.
The point is he's a schmuck.
The Joker movie was never supposed to lead to a Batman appearance.
Okay. No, but they made a sequel, so you would think if they made sequels,
it wasn't supposed to get a sequel, though. Right. That's the point. The Joker was supposed to be a one and done. Like,
right.
It wasn't supposed to be like an origin story for like the Joker, and then Batman's going to show up, and we're going to have like a battle in Gotham or something. Right. This was supposed to just be like, hey,
my own universe.
This is how somebody who's mentally ill, who gets beaten down by society, they snap, and people resonate with that, and it can cause dangerous things to happen. Like,
but didn't they call him the Joker?
They called him Joker. See, there's a difference here. Like,
but
there's the Joker, and then there's Joker. It's based on the character that we know, but it's not the character that we know.
So you're saying that our Joker became the Joker because of this asshole?
No. Todd Phillips is saying that in this sequel. That there's someone who became the Joker based off of him.
That's stupid.
Yes.
That's fucking dumb.
But in reality, like in like actual reality, Joker, the movie, is based off of the Joker, but it's a version of the Joker that's not meant to be in a battle with Batman.
Okay. So it's a timeline where just a Joker reigns and there's no Batman.
Well, it's not necessarily that he reigns, but like he causes a
right. Okay.
Okay.
It was never supposed to be more than one movie, correct?
Right. You know what it's like. You know in the Dark Knight trilogy where Christian Bale's Batman says, "If you could be more," Ra's al Ghul actually says it, but he's like, "If you could be more than just a man, if you can be an idea, that's truly unkillable." That's kind of what Joker is in Joker. He's an idea that just is embodied by Arthur Fleck.
And the funny thing is, like, when that happened, people are like, oh, we can give fucking supervillains movies now.
Yes.
Which is, no, you can't. But okay. And then all of a sudden, comic book covers villains. It's like, wait, what?
Yep.
So now, Todd Phillips, what's his take now? Like, are people mad at him, or who are they mad at for this movie? It's him, right?
Well, it's him, and it's Warner Brothers.
He doesn't take any accountability that he fucked up this movie.
Well, okay, so this is his thing though. Like, I don't know if you've seen some of his comments recently, but
no, I didn't. I want to know understanding of how the fuck he's on active.
He's on like an almost active. I shouldn't say an active campaign, but his comments recently have almost been like, you guys enjoyed Joker the wrong way.
He's so stupid. He's an idiot.
So it's like, you're not supposed to like Arthur Fleck. You're supposed to hate him and not resonate with him. And I'm like,
are you out of your mind? Are you out of your
I'm
mind?
like,
This is
okay,
a movie. This is a fucking
I'm like-
movie.
I'm like, okay, but like, I understand because Arthur Fleck is a bad guy. Like, I get it.
Right.
But he's also the victim. You know?
Like,
so
is this guy
who
fucking
are
for
we
real?
supposed to resonate with? You know?
Like, this is the movie. We're going to pay tons of money to go to see this movie. Like, is he out of his fucking mind, this guy?
But my thing too is like, if you're gonna make a movie about a villain, you can't make him relatable.
Right.
Because there are points in Arthur Fleck's life where people could be like, yeah, I can relate to that. I'm not
Right,
going to
that's
shoot
not-
a late night TV host on live TV, but I
Right.
can relate to him being
But-
beaten down. That's happened to me.
Yeah, but they did beyond that in this movie.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he doesn't take any accountability that he fucked up at all.
No, because I don't think he wanted to do this.
But he still did it. That's the point. It's like, so like, okay, so I saw something about people trying to lip read with Joaquin Phoenix talking to Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
Does Joaquin Phoenix think he fucked up the movie?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Because this movie's going to bomb now, right? Isn't it bombing?
Well, the movie, they're going to lose $150 million on it.
And this guy's never going to get a job again, right? Like,
I don't think he's going to work with Warner Brothers again. No.
Who the fuck's going to hire him?
Yeah, I mean that's it's unfortunate, but you know.
But again, it goes back to.
I'll put it into perspective for you. There are some sites that are scoring it lower than Morbius, and it may do financially worse than Morbius.
But the thing is, this is the key to when it's all said and done. How you make money and you don't make money, and it's people like this that they hire that are not looking to make a film to where it's successful making money. They want to put their stupid fucking message in there that nobody gives a fuck about.
It's like what we said about Sony before, right?
Like Acolyte and all this other bullshit.
Yes.
Nobody gives a fuck about your shitty opinions. Don't make a movie about it.
Well, that's the thing. The people that are making the decisions are not fans like we are. They look at an IP and they're like,
They should
how
not.
can we make this make money?
And that's it. I'll say. So explain to the audience what an IP is, because that's thrown
intellectual
around.
property. So it's
Right.
like
Why do they keep? Why do they call it that though?
Because that's what it is. I mean, it's like it's
All
an
right,
idea.
but they
that
never
you
use the.
own,
All
right?
right. So
So
in other words,
it's like this. It's like this, right? I'll give you
the IP of Star Wars or the IP
Right.
of. Okay.
I'll give you the perfect example. I'll give you a great example. It's again, I'm biased with this example, but it's the best way I can explain it, right? Go back to 1997. Okay. You have, ironically, I'm pretty sure it was Sony. You have Sony. They have the rights to make a Godzilla movie, right?
Okay.
They get a script called Godzilla versus the Griffin.
Right.
This script had everything you would think about a Godzilla.
Thank you, Unknown. I know.
Right.
I know what. Wait, hold on. Unknown. I know what it's called, but I just felt that some people didn't, because up until like a little while ago, I didn't know what it meant either. And I do know what it means now. So I just wanted the audience to know, because maybe some people are older that they don't know what it's called. Okay, got it.
So anyway, you get this script, Godzilla versus the Griffin, right?
Which is
It
that
has
would have been a
everything-
great fucking villain,
Right.
by the way.
It has everything you want in a Godzilla movie. It has Godzilla's nuclear origins. It has a monster that he fights. It's an original monster. Godzilla has his atomic breath. He looks like Godzilla.
Right.
Everything, it reads really well. It needs some polishing, but it reads really well, right?
Right.
The people who are in charge of deciding if this is going to get greenlit or not, they read this script and they go, this isn't what we want.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay? Then they get a script from two other directors and writers, right? Who are like, we don't really like Godzilla. We think it's kind of silly. But you know what we really liked? Jurassic Park.
Are you talking about the Matthew Broderick Godzilla?
Hold on. So they go to the decision makers, and the decision makers go,
Fuck.
Jurassic Park made a lot of money.
Oh,
Made a lot of merchandise money too.
fuck.
What do you want to do? Well, we want to make Godzilla look like a T-Rex, and then we're going to replace the Velociraptors with his babies.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he have atomic breath? No, that's silly.
Right. You just breathe.
Is he created by nuclear weapons?
No.
Yeah, but it's going to be French nuclear weapons, not America's nuclear weapons. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds great. Make that movie. Okay.
Make that movie.
Then we get Godzilla '98, right? Okay.
Right.
That is what's happening now with all these other IPs.
Oh.
Okay. But here's the flip side. Go back to 2012. Go to Legendary Pictures. We got the rights to make a Godzilla movie. What are we not going to do? That 98 movie. What are we going to make sure we do? Well, let's make sure that the movie we make respects the source material. And here we are 10 years later with a successful franchise.
There you go. And everything else gone to shit.
Because Thomas Tull is a fan or was a fan of Godzilla, and the people who are directing the movies are also Godzilla fans and King Kong fans.
So then Disney, you fucking fire all the... If anybody goes to make a speech after they get their hands on a property and they say fuck men and fuck this and fuck the fans, they're fired immediately. Get rid of these people and do fucking these IPs the way they're supposed to be done. Right. Not where you're knocking the character. Or like you're embarrassing Indiana Jones because a woman's showing him up. Or like you kill fucking James Bond. You know what the funny thing was? As a kid, I always watched, my dad was a huge James Bond fan, right? And I always saw a James Bond movie in the theater, right? And for some reason, when I heard all these bad things about the last James Bond movie, I did not see it because I felt they were going to fuck it up. I did not know until 2 fucking days ago, right? I don't know why maybe because I just avoided it. Did you see the last James Bond?
No, because I heard the same thing.
Okay, so you know what I'm about to say. Spoilers, guys. I did not know they killed fucking James Bond.
Yeah. For
the first time in fucking history in a movie. Right? Not talking about the books, I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah, doesn't he get hit by like a missile or something?
And I'm like, what the fuck? Right? I was so pissed off. Now, even though I didn't see the movie, right? My father had taken me to see every fucking movie he could think of that came out of James Bond, right? And because my father loved it, I loved it. Like I watched every time. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a huge like Spider-Man or anything, but I was a fan. Not like my dad was super, super, super Bond fan, right?
Yeah.
I did see right? So I was pissed off. And even though, there's going to be I'm like, no, he's dead. Like, I know you can say, all right, the new person, they've never killed him off in a movie. So my brain, I'm like, I don't want to see another James Bond movie. He's dead. Like, even though it would be like a reboot, I'm like, no, he's dead. He's dead. That's it. I was just so upset. I was so upset when I saw that. And I was so angry. I'm like, and you know what the funny thing was? Is that they wanted to do a female thing from that, and nobody cared. And they never did because they fucked it up. They fucked it up. So
yeah. Again, it's the decisions from the top. It's like a top down.
It's like when we were doing the Real Hoovians cast,
right? And
we're like, what are they doing with Jodie Whittaker and this ruining the character of the Doctor with this timeless child bullshit, right? And we're like, I don't know how this is gonna come back from it or whatever, right? And they just fucked up the show Christian fucked up the show,
Yeah.
where it almost couldn't be repaired. Almost. Because what is the main thing they always say? Every character has like a Bible, that like meaning they create a thing like a book for the character,
Yes.
and they're like, Spider-Man can't hold the gun and shoot somebody.
Right.
And Spider-Man can't kill anybody, right? There are things that the character will never, ever, ever do.
Right.
And they build the foundation with this character, and they're like, the Jedi don't do this, and the Sith do this, and then as decades go on, and we have different society and different rules, it's like every single fucking franchise that's ever been created, for some reason, they hired that one motherfucker that wants to fucking shit all over the character.
Right.
Completely
Right.
shit all over the character. And the thing is, you want to know why time travel is going to be possible one day? You want to know why?
Why?
Because of The Last Jedi. That's why. Someone's going to create time travel to prevent that motherfucker from making that fucking Star Wars film. No other reason, not to save the planet. It's gonna some fucking ridiculous shit like that will probably be the cause of all these other fucking things falling apart.
You're probably right.
You save The Last Jedi.
It's either going to be that, or they're gonna go back to save Harambe. Either one.
You're gonna what? You're gonna save?
They're gonna go back to save Harambe.
Yes. The eighth.
Either
Yes.
one.
Yes. I think it's Last Jedi. So I'm sorry.
I think it's The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I think it's
You want to know what's crazy about that though? Because I've thought about this a lot. Like I used to have a long commute to work. I work from home now.
Right.
I used to have a long commute to work and home, so I had time to think about this stuff.
Right.
If The Last Jedi was just a little bit different, Star Wars would be in a pretty good place today.
Yes. Yes.
Because
But, I mean, you could kind of say maybe there's stuff in the Force Awakens, like Han Solo, but
I think people,
nothing really fucked it up more than Last Jedi.
I think people would be like, I didn't like this about the Force Awakens. I thought I could have done this better, but I guarantee you, people would have been like, Star Wars is great. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the Last Jedi was when your hero. You find out that the good in your father that killed fucking quadrillion people behind the Death Star, behind this, behind that, and killed younglings and killed everything. And this person who made a whole effort that, there's good in him, does the complete opposite and tries to kill his fucking little nephew. And he's a loser, and Han Solo's a loser, and there's divorce, and it's just like, I mean, before that movie, but I'm just saying, this is fucking bullshit.
I can get behind that with Luke if he didn't just give up. Like Luke would try to find a way to fix it.
I gotta tell you, I can never accept that. I'm sorry.
I understand that. I do.
Ever,
I do. I get
ever in any context, right? I would create time travel to stop that motherfucker. Fucking J.J. Abrams, whoever. That's fucking ridiculous.
It was Rian Johnson.
Right. Whoever. I fucking would never allow that to happen.
I'll tell you what, right?
That is the first thing. Wait, I believe that's the first instance, right? Of people trying to destroy your hero. Like totally.
I think that overtly, yeah.
Try to crush the whole concept of let's make movies reality. And this father was a shitty father, and this person was a shitty hero, and this person and the bad guys are cool and good guys. That started this bullshit trend. Rian Johnson started this shit. Where all these movies are failures because of Rian Johnson.
I can't put all the blame on him though.
Mostly. I can mostly.
I can't do that. You want to know why? You like? Do you know the whole story about how he got the job and everything?
All right, J.J. Abrams really like because he's a look. No offense, but he's a fucking hack. Like he destroys.
It wasn't even Abrams though. It wasn't.
No,
it
but
wasn't
even
him
but
either.
Abrams, right? Who's it? Kathleen Kennedy? You're saying?
No. So this is what happened, right? When Disney bought Star Wars, right? Shortly after that, Rian Johnson went to Disney and was like, "I have an idea for a trilogy. I want to do this." And apparently, whatever he presented to them was
Rian
so
Johnson.
good, at least to them, that they were like, "You know what? Why don't you do Episode 8?" And he was like,
But who's the one that said do episode 8? Kathleen
"Kathleen
Kennedy.
Kennedy."
So she's the
Kathleen
bitch.
Kennedy.
She's the fucking one.
And so he was like, "Okay, but I want to do my own trilogy." And they were like, yeah, you'll do that after you do Episode 8, right?
You'd never get a trilogy ever again.
And but you know what they did though? They told him, "You can do whatever you want."
Right.
With Episode 8. And so he was like, "Okay, I want to tell this story because this is the story I want to tell." And nobody told him no. Had there been people like Dave Filoni and maybe George Lucas there to be like, "Hey man, probably shouldn't do this to Luke," he probably would have been like, "Okay."
You know what I want to know? If you could tell me?
Yeah.
What was fucking George Lucas' reaction when he saw that shit?
The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
It depends on who you talk to.
Like the real.
Officially, he didn't say much about it. He didn't like The Force Awakens, but he made officially they say he liked The Last Jedi. Behind the scenes, it's a different story. Apparently, he hated the entire trilogy.
Well, he felt that The Force Awakens was like a copy of Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah.
With the fucking instead of a Death Star, it was the fucking
Star Killer base.
Right, and then instead of the see, that made no sense too. Instead of the Rebels, it was the fucking Resistance.
Right.
That you got from V. It's just like, okay,
right,
dude. It was a copy, but Kylo Ren was like original, even though he's related. You know, it's just I like.
I'll tell you what though, I would take what they did in The Force Awakens.
I like The Force Awakens
compared to the other two. I'm telling you.
Like I said, if time travel was possible, they would.
So that was the point I was going to make before, right? Had they signed J.J. Abrams to just do all three,
right?
I think we would have gotten something that was at least marginally better,
right?
Than
so,
what it
so
is.
in other words, J.J. Abrams was not the one that wanted Luke to be a fucking failure.
No, because he read the script and he was like, "This sounds interesting, but this isn't what I would have done."
Okay.
He had a plan, but he thought what they were going to do was he would do The Force Awakens,
right?
Then hand it off to Rian Johnson. He would pick up where they left off. He would do The Last Jedi, and then Colin Trevorrow, who, by the way, also wrote a fantastic script.
Yeah, didn't they shit on him?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, they let him go.
Yeah,
he had a fantastic script for Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
And so Abrams had he just been signed on to do all three, if he agreed to do that, which is a big undertaking, but if he agreed to do that, let's say, he wanted to dedicate that much of his life to Star Wars, we probably would have had a C+ trilogy.
Right.
Which is much better than
Last Jedi, right? Much better.
You know?
Yeah, I know. But now, what is he doing now?
No.
What is he doing now, J.J. Abrams? What the fuck is he doing now?
I to be honest, I have no idea.
Back to the Future. That's it.
I guess. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
no franchise is ever safe.
Because we were going to talk about DC.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
I was going to say it's okay. I was going to say this Superman movie better be good.
I'm a little worried about it. I got to tell you.
Me too.
I'm sorry. I remember when I was a kid, my father took me to see Superman 2. Like Superman, these are the instances where, just like Empire Strikes Back was better than the sequel was better than, right? So this happened a few times, right? So
Yeah.
when I was, of course, introduced to Superman as a movie, right? I love the first one, but the moment you put Superman 2 with the villains, that was my favorite thing, right?
Oh yeah. Zod is great. You know?
Right. So, but then it went down to shit. 3, 4.
What, you don't like Nuclear Man?
So, and again, it got all Hollywoody, where, oh, well, let's put Richard Pryor in third one, and then let's do, would it be a humanitarian? And even though you're an alien, you're going to combat nuclear weapons. It was just stupid political. And then it got even worse. Then they then did the concept of, oh, we're going to do a Superman sequel, but we're going to make it that 3 and 4 never happened. So this is going to be a timeline, and this is what started that shit, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, 1 and 2, and then after 2, he went back to Krypton, and then Superman returns.
He went back to Krypton that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. But the point is that, like I'm saying, when you did Marvel movies and then you did Endgame,
yeah,
you don't go back from Endgame to do like shitty. So in other words, there was no villain. It's Lex Luthor, which you just had the supervillains. Now you're going back to a human, and it's boring as fuck.
It's not like Superman can punch Lex Luthor.
Right, it's boring as fuck now, right? And that's what made that fail. Because when I worked in the toy industry, it was clearance. Why? Who's Superman fighting? A human. Oh. Where's the villains? There is no villain. Oh. And this is your example of how you don't fucking think when you're making movies and toys that you just don't have. You could have, once you had the villains introduced, you could have Lex Luthor, but it always have to be Lex Luthor and somebody. You can't just have
like Metallo.
You can't just have Lex Luthor, right? Yeah. So in this movie, this Superman movie, is Lex is in it, right? But isn't there like big scale villains?
There's a lot of heroes and apparently a lot of villains in this movie.
So this is where I'm gonna get your opinion, but first I'm gonna say my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want any heroes in here. I just want Superman and the villain. I don't want Superman building like I don't want this movie to say, hi, I'm James Gunn and I'm building my universe from this movie. These guys are going to be in this movie. This guy's going to be this is my Avengers.
I hate to break it to you, but then you may not like this movie at all.
Listen, Superman cannot be crowded. It has to be Superman and your villain, and I don't want to see Aquaman come out of the water. I don't want to see Wonder Woman riding a horse. I don't want to see like a whole team that never existed in the comics before Superman.
That's definitely not this movie. That's I can 100% tell you. From the set photos alone. There's at least 3 or 4 major DC heroes in this. Absolutely.
Fuck.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I know. You think that's gonna work? I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know. That's. I can't see. See, the thing is, like, I don't think you need to introduce Superman to everybody because they know who he is. But, like, so this is not going to be even an origin, nothing, right? It's just going to be him as Superman.
He's already been allegedly he's been Superman already, and apparently this movie is. He's kind of fed up with it, and this is him getting back into being like, yo, you know what? I can do this.
Wait, so he's been established for a while, but now he's just done?
He hasn't been established. I think he's been Superman for like 2 years, right?
Okay.
And he's kind of getting frustrated with it.
So is that why he's sitting, putting his boots on where the fucking building?
Yes, yep.
Wait, so here's my problem, right? You mean to tell me that millions of people are dying from a building getting blown by an alien, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or some, and you're taking your sweet ass time putting your boots on?
Yes.
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 So
Full disclosure, I don't like that picture. I think that picture
I
is
hate
a
that. Okay,
wrong
so
tone
okay,
for Superman,
so
personally.
okay. So I think that I'm gonna say a lot. I'm gonna say we're responsible for
What?
this whole thing with James Gunn, because I remember us going to bat for James Gunn, the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, and I remember me saying, "Oh, DC, now is your opportunity to fucking hire this motherfucker," and then boom, next thing you know, he takes over the universe. But here's the thing. I have a bad feeling like he's not meant to run a whole entire
We are not
cinematic.
responsible for this. You know
We
who's
might
responsible
be.
for this?
We might have gave people the idea.
No, you know who's responsible for this?
Who is this?
The people in charge of making decisions
And
at
Disney?
DC. At DC.
No, because
the DCEU was a complete disaster.
Yeah, but
That's
like,
what led to this.
No, if Disney didn't fire James Gunn, he would never. This never would have been happening.
Oh, I think he would have. I think he absolutely would have.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Because remember, Disney rehired him afterwards.
Yeah, but still, he was already going to be doing this.
Yeah, but if somebody tells you, like, hey, man, do you want to lead a universe where you can play with Batman, Superman,
Listen,
Wonder Woman,
Disney
and Green
can't say
Lantern?
anything because guess what?
Yeah.
How much money did Guardians 3 make?
Well, I'm going to be very honest with you, right? If this Superman movie does well, that could be a problem for Marvel.
If
But it does well.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I gotta tell you, I love James Gunn. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
And I went to bat like more than any fucking, what do you want to call him, director, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I went to bat for anybody more than James Gunn. But I can't really make it. I just don't like what I see with this movie.
So far, I can understand that.
Like, it boils down to what my vision of Superman is compared to his.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't ever see Superman as like, oh, I really don't want to be Superman today. I see Superman as always wanting to be Superman, always wanting to save people.
Ideally, yeah.
Right? Like the model Superman is like, oh, I know exact. Superman knows what to do. There is no not knowing what to do because
he can get frustrated and tired,
right.
and stuff,
he
but
always
he pushes past that, you know.
Right.
Like,
he is like Steve Rogers, where like you have these characters that are just like, who do you want to save you? Superman or Captain, right? Like,
that was my issue with Zack Snyder's version of Superman. As much as I like him,
I'm not talking about Zack Snyder's Superman is a whole different.
Well, no, what I'm saying though is like that version of Superman, like I would be afraid that he was going to level the city by accident trying to save me. You know, I want to know Superman's going to save me and not destroy a city block by accident. You know,
Zack Snyder, Superman, and Batman is like that fucking weird kid in the playground that you would have your Superman and Batman toys. He would have his Superman and Batman toys. And the kid was just a freak. And I mean, oh, I'm gonna be Batman and I'm gonna Brandon on him because I used to watch WWF with wrestler scald the guy in his ass, the Brandon iron. And I'm gonna fucking be Batman's gonna fucking boil fucking people and put his bat symbol on their asshole. And as Superman, I'm going to be like a god. And I'm going to stand there and a whole building's going to blow up and body parts are going to fly around. And I'm going to look like that face like, oh, I missed it. Shit.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, that one scene I will never forget in my life, the scene where He's in the fucking courthouse, and it's Zack Snyder directing him to be like, oh shit.
You know, it's funny too because I'm pretty sure that was the Capitol building too. It wasn't even just
Right,
like a
right.
regular
So
courthouse.
it's like you directed him do the and oh shit, and it's just like everybody blew up, and he's sitting there, not a care in the world because he can't be hurt, but it's like shit.
You know what? You know what's unhinged about that scene too is number one, there was a jar of piss on the desk, and number two, that bomb was hidden in an automated wheelchair.
But it's like that kid that
Oh,
was never meant to be in control of anything big, that for some weird reason was given the keys to the kingdom and ran with his imagination and put out this most sick, fucking twisted shit you have ever seen as DC characters. And let me get the most fucking, like,
but you know what though? He wasn't even in charge of a lot of that stuff afterwards. You know,
well, afterwards, no, like I'm sure he's not in charge of the Flash, but like,
but the people that were did an even worse job. That's the scary.
But
thing.
again, what did they? Okay, I never seen the movie, right? Because I heard about shit and I didn't like it, right? Again, what did they do with the Flash movie?
Oh man, that Flash movie.
No, you know what I'm gonna say.
What's that?
You know how Batman ends, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets with Catwoman. Maybe they get married. Maybe whatever, right? He's happy. Gotham is crime free eventually. No, he's a fucking loser in his mansion, like wearing shitty ass clothes. You're a fucking millionaire, and whatever, and you failed. Again, like the Luke's. This is the same. This is because of The Last Jedi. The same shit. Let's make the hero fail and then come back. Nobody wants to see billionaire. It used to be millionaire in the 80s, then it became a billionaire. Sorry, I know.
Well, it's inflation, you know?
Inflation. Because Tony Stark used to be a millionaire, then he became a billionaire, then a couple years be a trillionaire. But anyway, shows my age, 1974. Okay. I used to watch the Sonny and Cher show. All right, anyway. So it just goes to show the Last Jedi mentality. The hero failed. Reality. He sucks. He's a fucking waste. And it's like,
I'm pretty sure he also dies at the end of that movie too.
Does he?
Pretty sure.
Didn't the timeline get changed?
It did, but it was George Clooney's Batman that showed up at the end.
I know, but that's what happened. The whole timeline got changed, right?
It was supposed to be that at the end of the movie, the Flash.
No, but he didn't die because his Batman was in Batgirl, wasn't it? But never happened.
No. It was supposed to be like that. At the end of the movie, the Flash was supposed to think he got back to the regular timeline, and then when Bruce Wayne shows up, it was Michael Keaton, which then leads into Batgirl. When they decided not to do Batgirl, they reshot the ending to where it was George Clooney that showed up instead of Michael Keaton.
Makes no sense.
Which means that Barry Allen or whatever Flash it was is trapped in an alternate universe.
Right, he fucked up.
Right. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he died fighting a Kryptonian.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't see the movie, so
like he kills the Kryptonian
I
somehow.
refuse to see it. You mean Zod?
He kills the Kryptonian, but he like dies of exhaustion or something.
He kills Zod?
No, he kills like a Kryptonian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a massive Kryptonian.
Here's the thing: if I was Warner Brothers judging the Joker, I'd be like, Tim Burton, here's $300 million. Get Michael Keaton, direct sequel to, so many years later, Batman Returns.
They're doing that shit.
Why?
You know what they're doing? They're doing Batman 2, the Batman 2.
Well, that we knew about, though.
And James Gunn, I think it was either James Gunn or Peter. No. I think it was David Zaslav, actually. One of them said, yeah, we will not have 3 Batmen running around. It won't happen.
Well, no. supposedly his Batman sucks.
Whose?
James Gunn's that it fucking has a kid that's robbing and shit.
James Gunn's Batman hasn't been made yet.
But I'm saying that they're not gonna probably do it.
Well, if Superman does well, they will. That's the next movie I think that's slated after that.
Nobody wants to see. You know the sales are shit. Nobody wants to see Batman. Like, what kind of father is that? You make your kid Robin, and then he could be killed by the villains. Like nobody wants to see that.
No. The Robin that they're going to be using, I'm pretty sure, is Damian Wayne, and Damian Wayne is not getting killed. He's not getting killed by no Joker. I'll tell you that much.
They shouldn't do that. You think they should do that?
I wouldn't do that personally, but I mean, I'm interested to see what they do. But
again, I'm not even interested. That's the word. That's the brave and the bold.
It all hinges on whether this Superman movie does well. Because I'm telling you right now, if the Superman movie is just kind of okay or it tanks, they're screwed. They have no way of getting out of it.
If this movie bombs, he's fired immediately.
If it bombs, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
No, he's fired immediately. Immediately.
You want to honestly, you know what I think might happen? If
he's going to go back to Disney.
If this Superman movie fails, David Zaslav is going to sell Warner Brothers.
If this movie fails, Disney's fucked, and they will hire him and give him a whole bunch of movies to do if he wants.
Maybe.
Completely. Not that he's going to control like Kevin Feige, but he's going to get a couple of pictures.
I honestly think that if this Superman movie fails, I honestly think that might be the beginning of the end for superhero movies.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Superman tanks? Yeah,
but here's the thing. You and I have been, how many everything shows we've done on Batman versus Superman? They fucked Batman. They fucked these characters so long that one more fuckable thing of Superman's not going to fuck it. It's just.
I think it will.
Really?
Yeah, because.
No, you know what's going to fuck up the superhero thing? If the next Spider-Man movie bombs,
it won't.
No, it will because it's never been.
No,
really,
no, it won't. It won't.
Why?
Spider-Man makes them more money than Superman makes the other one money.
If Spider-Man bombs, the next one, that's going to be one of the biggest things that's going to fuck everything up.
Oh, it'll be a shock. Don't get me wrong.
Because they said, as far as sales goes, the number one superhero in sales is Spider-Man in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
If that movie fails, that will be the start of the fucking.
Well, this is the thing though. The difference between Spider-Man and Superman though is Tom Holland is already liked by a majority of the audience. It's the fourth movie in his series. So it doesn't have as much writing on it as this Superman does. This Superman is completely unknown.
But this Superman is mostly negative so far, we're hearing.
So far. That doesn't mean that
that means there's not really going to be an impact if this fails because so far
there absolutely will be. There absolutely will be. They need this movie to succeed to start their whole universe. If this movie doesn't do well, they can't do anything.
You know what this movie is? And again, I hope James Gunn's watching this. But this movie is like a fucking race car driver with all these fucking stickers on his car. Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Wendy's. Like, you turned your fucking movie into a goddamn billboard to promote your own bullshit. And the average viewer is going to see the movie for Superman. They don't want to see these newly created superheroes that were created a couple years ago.
They're not. That's not who's in it, though. It's not newly created people.
The Authority? Who's that?
The Authority's been around for years.
How many years?
At least 10,
12?
I think.
But that's what I'm saying.
For a long time.
But not from the beginning. They've never been from the beginning.
Like, yeah, but there are characters that are in this movie that are, though. Like they are.
But if this is a if this is a Superman movie, right? What's called what? Superman? What's it called?
Superman.
So, but why the fuck? This is what I'm trying to. Why the fuck would he fuck up a Superman movie, you have Superman in your fucking hands, right?
Right.
Well, I don't give a fuck about all these other characters. Who does?
Well, that's the thing, is that he's trying to appeal to the people that are like,
but
I want a
but
DC
I don't
universe.
want to buy your car. I don't want him to sell me his car.
Right.
I don't want him to sell me his house. I want to see Superman. I don't want to see this shit.
But there's an audience that's out there that's like, I want a DC.
Not big enough.
Like Marvel.
No.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you right. Not
Yes.
for this. You think
This,
that
yes.
you think that they want this clutterfuck in this movie?
If it's executed well, it will work.
What are the odds that it's executed well?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's going to be executed well, because if people just show up out of nowhere, then it's going to be a problem. However, for it being the first movie in a universe, I'm hesitant to say that I want all of this in there. I agree. I don't want all of this in there, but this is what they're doing. And it's a fact. You just have to look at the set photos. The set photos have these characters in costume in there.
This is fucking gonna be crazy.
Right.
So
now, look, there's a way, there is a way he can do it well.
Is Justice League in this?
No, the Justice League wouldn't have been established yet.
So we're not going to see Aquaman. We're not going to see Wonder Woman. We're not going to see Batman.
I don't think you're gonna see the big three other than Superman in this. I think it's going to be more of like the side members of the Justice League. Eventually, the eventual Justice League.
And he's a dick? Superman or no?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just kind of burnt out. I think he's like a burnt out phase, you know?
He's burnt out after 2 fucking years? Oh my God.
Because everybody thinks he's the villain. Like, even other heroes think that he's like, they're like, we don't know about this guy.
Why do they think he's a villain?
It's not necessarily that they think he's a villain. I shouldn't say that. It's more so like the superheroes have like established rules, and Superman's like, I just want to help people. And they're like,
but isn't he before them? He's not.
No, he's new.
Oh,
he's new to them.
That's
new to them.
He's supposed to be the first one.
Not necessarily.
I mean, comic-wise, really.
Batman's going to be around before him.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, this is what I'm talking about. It's like you're creating this new history where there's all these superhero teams and shit before him. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, technically, in the DCEU, he wasn't even the first one.
That's absurd, too.
Wonder Woman was the first one. Batman was around before him. So this is kind of like more of the same. Technically, Black Adam was around too.
See, I'm okay with that. Listen, I'm okay with Batman. I'm okay, but like these fucking people I never heard of, that's gonna be rough.
Well, there's gonna be some characters that you know. That
I don't really know DC like I know Marvel.
Yeah, but like you know Green Lantern, right?
Yeah, I know.
There you go. Yeah, he's gonna show up in this apparently.
All right.
Because that's getting a show. That's getting that Lantern show.
God. Penguin's doing well, right?
So far, yeah. Apparently, it's very good.
So that Batman's going to be the Batman of this universe? I thought it was supposed to be
Nope.
No,
That's an elsewhere Batman. Elseworlds Batman, I should say.
So the Batman and Batman, didn't they do Batman 2 and 3 back to back or no? Or just 2?
No, right now I think they just did they're doing the Batman 2.
But that probably will do well.
I hope so.
So now, if the Joker 2 fails,
yep.
But then Batman, see, that's the thing. If Joker 2 fails, it's going to be that much harder to have alternate universe fucking movies in DC.
Now it will be, yes.
Unless Batman 2 does well.
Yes.
Right.
Then they'll just do the Batman 3. Where they're going to run into a problem, though, is if the Batman 2 does better than Superman or better than Brave and the Bold.
Well, why would you call Brave and the Bold? It's fucking stupid.
It's something new.
No, it's not new. That's like from the fucking 40s.
No.
Or 60s.
No.
What?
I'm saying it's new to the audience because that's not been done on in movies yet.
No, but it's been done in the comics, ancient times.
It's been done in the comics, but how much of the
wouldn't
general
work
audience
now.
read those
But
comics?
it wouldn't. Nobody's gonna see him bring the ball. It's stupid.
Well, again, if they market it well, they will.
No.
It's all about the marketing too. If they, now again, I agree with Unknown. If the Batman 2 doesn't do well, then they'll just be like, fuck it, we won't make any more of these. But if it does well and it does better than the DCU,
See, that's
then
the
they're
thing.
going to be like, oh, what do we do?
Batman's made them money when Superman hasn't.
Right.
So you can't fuck up Batman. If you fuck up Batman, you're done. Totally.
Essentially, I would say so, yes.
But the thing is, Disney's not even in a position to buy anything because they're fucking losing. So, like, if
I don't think that they would buy, because I don't think that they would just sell DC. I think Warner Brothers would get sold. The whole thing would just get sold.
But the government wouldn't allow Disney to buy Warner Brothers because it's a monopoly.
Kinda.
It definitely is.
You do have other corporations that are competitors, so it's not technically a monopoly. But
if Disney's allowed to buy Warner Brothers, they have everything. They bought 20th Century. They have Aliens. They have Predator. They have Independence Day.
I know, but they don't own Paramount. They don't own Universal. They don't own Amblin. They don't own a lot of these things. They don't own. Well, they would, I guess, own Bad Robot at that point, or maybe I don't know. That
well, no,
I don't know.
Who owns Bad Robot now? I mean, Bad Robot's J.J. Abrams' company, but
Bad Robot, I think, is its own company, but I think they have a relationship.
No, but their relation Warner Brothers.
Yeah. They wouldn't own Legendary. Legendary is a separate entity. Warner Brothers just distributes.
But then J.J. Abrams is connected. Oh wait, Bad Robot does the Paramount Star Trek movies.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why he's connected with the Star Trek movies still.
Yeah.
This is just crazy.
I agree with what Unknown said there. I think that if Warner Brothers gets involved in how Matt Reeves is making the Batman 2, there's a chance that could not do well.
But it's done. Isn't it done almost?
No, I don't think they've even started yet.
Really?
I don't think they started filming that. I think they have the script, but I don't think they've started filming yet. I may be wrong about that, but I don't know. I know that they said that there's a potential that Mr. Freeze is the villain, though, and I was like, Mr. Freeze? Like,
I thought it was, so I guess they're not doing the Joker for Batman at all.
No, I would doubt it.
So now there's other things that are coming out that we don't really talk about lately, but the Friday the 13th thing, that's been another that they're trying to drop the. So here's the thing with the rights and everything. The two guys that were fighting for a while are now so fucking old, and they were both gonna become broke. So they decided to come together, because that's the only way Friday the 13th is gonna happen, and do stuff together, right?
Sure.
But now they're trying to drop the Friday the 13th name because they don't want to pay New Line anything.
Sure.
But that will still, there will still be a lawsuit, even if they drop the name, because Jason is connected to Friday the 13th franchise.
Mm.
So, but this is where, I mean, me and Billy have our famous debates, which, the guy that won the lawsuit that wrote Friday the 13th partly or whatever, never intended Jason to be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And everything from the success was Cunningham doing Jason the way he is.
Yeah, yeah.
But, the fact that they have to talk to this guy, that they made it a success and he didn't, it just bothers me. But the point is that the toxic waste or whatever from the swamp or whatever from the thing, you don't really know why Jason comes back to life over and over and over again. It has some type of weird regenerative ability. He's not a zombie, but whatever. But
I always thought he just found a way out of hell.
Right, but the thing is, like, now you're gonna make it that he was retarded or like slow, or he was normal and he just drowned because he can't swim.
Right.
But he wasn't bald. He wasn't like, I see these fucking promotions, right? And he's in Crystal Lake with his fucking bald. They said in Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, that the artist description that wrote in the newspaper says this is what he would look like from overdue time in the swamp, being alive, but like being bald, right? Not because he's slow or because he's like, that's not like, it's like someone else doing the thing, and they don't know Friday the 13th.
Right.
Like, this guy is them going to this guy, and this guy's just he's not, like, that's the whole point, is that his mom was divorced with the father, and she tried to make ends meet, and she was a cook in the camp, and because she doesn't have a babysitter, they said, all right, you could cook and he could be in camp and we'll watch him. And they didn't watch him, and he drowned.
Mm-hmm.
And then she became nuts and killed every fucking time everybody, and got away with it every year. Where people started dying, they closed the camp. And even though the camp was closed, she was still killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you don't know why he came back. You don't know why, whatever. There was never been anything established. Yes, there's been other things, but like we said, people doing the movie or Friday the 13th movie, throwing their bullshit into it that had nothing to do with what it was. So now we have a show that's supposed to be a prequel, right? Or a mixture. I guess they're doing everything, because now they're doing the kitchen sink where they're like, hey, if you like Jason X, we're going to be in space, and you can have that Jason. I know. If you like Manhattan, he's killing people in Manhattan. It's like, wait a minute. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is it going to be? But then I'm hearing that they're going to dump it. They're not going to dump it. But they're not. In other words, the whole thing of movies, they're not doing, because they don't want New Line to get shit. So they want to have this thing on the Jason Universe logo that some kid looked like a 5-year-old created the logo for it. It looks terrible. And Friday the 13th is my favorite horror franchise, and I'm fucking at a loss. I'm like, oh, this is going to be shit.
Yeah.
And then there's this other thing I didn't even know existed. That's on. Is it on Warner Brothers?
What's that?
The Friday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street Real Murders. What the hell was that?
Oh, I think that's like a documentary or something.
Oh, okay, but it's not like.
I don't think it's related to
Friday. They missed a boat with him too. They should have grabbed. Yeah. I think there was a legal battle with that too, and they just got the right. The family got the rights back, like Wes Craven family, because he died. But like, you needed to make a movie with him, one more movie.
Yeah.
And it's now that ship has sailed. I think he's too. He said right now he's too old to do it. Now he can't do it. That sucks. That's a missed opportunity. And then Halloween, they fucked that up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which now I believe they're restarting that again in movies, but I don't think it's Blumhouse. I think it's I don't know what the fuck we're fucking doing it now, but I think
Blumhouse is weird. They have like movies that are decent, and then they have ones that just completely suck.
Again, the original concept for making the movie was because he was fighting with Rob Zombie. He didn't like Rob Zombie said about Michael Myers, and then he did. The moment the test screenings failed, he fucking he never dies. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Fucking all about this. But and Scream's back now with Neve Campbell. Again, that they said they fuck her, we're not going to pay her, and now they're going to pay her.
Well, yeah.
So now the new people that they had, they fucked over, because this one was saying something about the war, it had nothing to do with the movies. They fired her, and then Ortega left because she's gone. And then the movie was shit, and then now they got them both back, right? They got Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, I guess.
I think so. Yeah.
But the other one's dead. They killed off Dewey, I guess.
They did, yes.
I don't know, man. And Chucky, I didn't see any of the TV show, but that got canceled, right?
That got canceled. Yeah.
But then I don't know if it's coming back with Sci-Fi because Sci-Fi did something with it recently. But they were
I don't
supposed to
think
make
so
another.
because Sci-Fi is owned by US. Sci-Fi and USA are like under the same, I think.
So I
contract.
mean, they had Jennifer Tilly with Mancini, I guess. Saying
they're
that
making a movie.
They said they're going to be a Chucky movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you knew that. First of all, they always Chucky's made money, so they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not a risk.
Well, the last season of the show, it obviously wasn't intended to be the last season, but he was in the White House and like he fires nukes at like the North Pole and stuff.
Wow.
It's weird, dude. He meets
then,
Dembala.
Right, Dembala takes his form,
doll.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Well, they did some weird shit, right? Because he was going to die, actually, right? He's getting old or something.
He was going to die because he used.
They did an exorcism on him, right?
Or something. And Dembala was like, "I'm not helping you. You're Christian now," and he was like, "What?" Like,
right? They did something to him, right?
Yeah.
But
because he used Christian magic.
He used it
by accident, I think, or was something like that. He was going to die for real, and Dembala was like, "I'm not bringing you back this time unless you do something crazy." And then,
so now he's. But how did that get resolved? There was a cliffhanger.
I didn't watch the show. I got to be honest with you; it never appealed to me.
Yeah, I know why. And then they screwed up. Didn't they screw up Hellraiser? Didn't they make Hellraiser like they did a whole new Pinhead?
Something like that.
Like a female?
That went downhill, yeah.
Right? A female, right? Which originally, I guess that was a concept for a comic, or
that was real. I think that was the original concept for Pinhead.
It was supposed to be a female originally.
Yeah.
Right? So they fucked that up. What else did they fuck up? Try to take up all the horror.
Here. I'll tell you what, though. You know what was really good? Alien Romulus.
So I didn't see that. Tell me.
It was good. It was very good. I
like Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Did this, and he's a success.
I'll tell you what. It makes you watch Alien differently now.
Really?
Oh yeah.
In a good way or a bad way?
It was a ballsy move, but I think they actually made it work.
Really?
Yes.
But it wasn't connected to Prometheus, or
it was. Yes.
It was.
It was. Surprisingly, yes.
But they didn't make it like David invented the fucking aliens, though, did they?
Yes, they did.
They still did?
Yes. That is the now canon explanation for.
He created fucking the Xenomorph.
Either that or he perfected them. He didn't create them. He perfected
them. I would like to believe he perfected them, not created them.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I hated that shit. That was ridiculous.
I'll tell you what, though. It when I only saw it once, but like they do an explanation in the movie about something, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then the more I thought about it, I was like,
was it the explanation of how the face hugger is connected to the fucking metamorphosis process?
Do you want me to tell you what it is, or do you want?
Yeah, basically, it's probably that, but yeah.
It's not. It's not that. It's not.
No.
That. No. Mm-mm.
What is it?
Do you want to know, or do you want to watch?
Yeah, I'm gonna see it, but yeah.
All right. So spoilers for Alien Romulus if you didn't watch it, and I guess also spoilers for Alien, but like, come on, like.
Right. Okay.
The Xenomorph did not die when Ripley blew it out the airlock. So essentially what happened was she blew it out the airlock and it basically drifted back into the debris that was left of the Nostromo, right?
Okay.
And what they've introduced to this in this movie is
so this movie takes place after Alien.
Takes place after Alien, before Aliens.
Okay.
Okay. So what they've introduced into this movie is that when xenomorphs are in a non-favorable environment, they basically go into hibernation and they cocoon themselves until they can kind of hatch out into a more favorable environment. Now, at first, I was like, what? Like that? What? But then, the more I thought about it, I was like, that makes sense, because if they're supposed to be like the perfect life form,
it would be a way to survive.
They would need a way to survive an environment that they couldn't survive in.
I like that.
So it actually it does.
I
make
actually
sense.
like that.
Yeah.
Because when you think of aliens, why do people think like the aliens are like humans that they can die in space?
Right.
Like, why would we? How would we know that?
Right.
Like, aliens and alien meaning completely different from a human, so that makes sense.
It does.
I think
I had
that
to think about it for a little bit, but then I was like, no,
I-
actually, you know what?
I actually like that. So in other words, this movie is a true sequel to Alien
Yes.
because she's sleeping all this time. So like,
Yes.
this is while she's sleeping in hyper.
Yes.
And so this alien, it's about this alien, and then whatever more aliens come from this alien, right?
So essentially, what happens is you know that alien is called the Big Chap, right? That was the name
what?
that they gave it on. The alien on the set when they were making the movie in Alien, they called the xenomorph the Big Chap.
The Big
That was
Chap?
the nickname. Yeah, that was the
Okay.
nickname they gave it, right? That particular xenomorph is not the one that we follow in this movie. It's already dead by the time you pick up with the rest
But
of the
there's other aliens that came from this one.
basically what Weyland Yutani did was they took the DNA from the Big Chap and they basically cloned it to make their own xenomorphs. And
Okay.
those are the xenomorphs that we follow in this movie.
Cloned from the original.
Yes.
Because the
So
alien
they made face huggers from it. Yeah.
So the alien from the original Alien was not a queen; it was just an alien.
It was just an alien. It was a
It's
drone.
the alien.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the second one was the queen.
That was a different xenomorph, but yeah, it was a queen. Yeah.
It was a queen, right? Okay. So, well, wait. What do you mean different xenomorph? Because
It
it's the
wasn't the
face
same one
hugger.
from the. It wasn't the same.
No,
one
I know
from
it's not the
first movie.
same exact one, but it's still
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
species, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So they cloned the xenomorph from Alien.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And it was excellent.
It was very good. Yeah.
Wow. I'm happy though, because how long that those two franchises have been fucked
Oh
up,
man.
right?
Oh man. Yeah.
We talked about this how many fucking
I'll tell
over a
you what,
decade.
right? I'll tell you what. I would put this one. I would say my favorites are Aliens, Alien Romulus.
Correct.
That's how good.
The second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the only thing that really, I'm glad Predator's doing better. I'm glad Alien's doing better. The only
Well,
thing.
hold that thought, because
What?
the plot for the next Predator movie leaked.
Uh-oh.
Sounds pretty bad.
We were doing so well with all that.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that really, well, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, but the stuff we grew up on, James Cameron needs to get this fucking Terminator thing back on track, but that's probably not happening, right? Like, it's happening, but it's probably not happening the way it should be.
I've been on kind of a Terminator kick lately, ironically, and I think they just need to leave it alone.
No, really? I mean,
I
no,
think-
they did
yeah, I
do
think
the
they need to-
Netflix thing. I didn't see the Netflix thing. So
I didn't. I watched a review of it. It is very confusing. It is a very confusing story.
Is it really?
Yes, it's not. It has nothing to do with the original movie,
Oh, no.
other than like saying things like Skynet and T-800. It
But
has
he's
nothing to do with it.
isn't he redoing it? Isn't he doing a Terminator movie? He said, despite
Allegedly.
Avatar. Yeah, we knew
Allegedly,
that.
yeah.
We knew he was doing that. But like, he's getting it wrong. Like, why he think the last one failed?
Yes.
But why can't he see that? Like, I don't understand why they. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
They have their own ideas of what they think
So
they should do.
fucking stupid. I mean, what he needs to do is he needs to throw the ego away and have a webpage, right? And ask the fans why they think the last movie failed.
I can tell you why the last movie failed.
I know
We all know.
why. We know
Yeah.
why the last. But He doesn't.
Yeah.
And look, every fucking movie, who's the goddamn fucking hero? John Connor. Who's the one who saves everybody? John Connor.
Or Sarah. Or
right,
Sarah.
but again, it's still John Connor's mom's John Connor, like Sarah.
Yep.
The Connors, right? It's like John Connor's leader of the resistance, John Connor's mother. Reese goes back to falls in love with John Connor and gives birth to right. But it's no one else. Now you try to make it like, oh, anybody could be a fucking leader of the resistance. No. Not.
Well, they tried to say that it doesn't matter what you do, this is always going to happen in some form or
but
another.
it's just bullshit because he got into all the diversity shit, and it's all like, a woman's going to lead the resistance. Not that she couldn't, but like, this is not. It's like,
well, let me ask you this.
Brainwashed us for how long that John Connor is it, and now you want to make it like I'll throw him away. That's like fuck Peter Parker. Let's just
Let me ask you this, right? Let me throw this out there, which is really why Dark Fate is really just a nonsense story, in my opinion.
Right.
Okay, so we stopped Skynet.
Yeah.
And now Legion has taken its place.
Where the fuck did they come from?
Legion. So what they're saying though is that humanity will always make an AI that will rebel against us. And someone in the future will lead a human resistance against said AI.
That's
right?
just stupid.
So let me ask you a question, right? If this is the case, okay, let's say we stop Legion. Well, now the next one does it, and then the next one, and then the next one. It never ends.
But the point is, right? And I don't know if he says stuff is canon or no longer canon anymore, I guess, because I guess didn't he say that
nothing in Terminator is canon anymore because they're all separate timelines.
But if you go by like Genesis, right?
Yeah.
They were losing the war and they didn't send one Terminator back. They just picked random years and they had a whole factory of Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminators that were gonna fuck up the entire fucking.
Oh no! That's not what happened in Genesis.
No, but they had that machine in the future of all those Terminators.
They clarified what happened in Genesis, and it's more confusing than you think.
Well, one, they sent the Terminator to Sarah when she was a kid,
right,
to kill her, and that started a whole new timeline.
Oh no!
And then Skynet went back in time too, and John Connor also became a Terminator.
That's not no.
What?
So it's worse than you think.
What?
So the beginning of Genesis was supposed to be the canon ending of the war that we hear about in the first Terminator movie.
That they won.
When Kyle Reese is being interrogated by Dr. Silberman, that was what that's what he was referring to. The Skynet that we see that Matt Smith plays, the T-5000, that's a Skynet from an alternate timeline.
In that timeline?
It went into this timeline somehow, went to the original timeline, and infected John Connor with the phase matter virus to make him the first T-3000, at least the one that we see. And then hold on, wait. Then the T-5000 trains John Connor how to make Skynet in an alternate 2015, which they then send the T-1000 back to try to kill Sarah to cause another timeline.
Okay, wait. So
it is a fucked up story, dude.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I probably went wrong with that last T-1000 part, but you get
maybe. But so Terminator 3 was the one where there was another good guy, Arnold, that said that John Connor dies in the future and his kids take over.
Yes.
And he's from a further future.
Yeah, because they postponed Judgment Day in Terminator 2. So that
Right,
pushed
but
the
he's
timeline further.
but you don't know who sent him back. Or I
Yes,
guess
we
his
do.
kids.
Yes, we do.
His kids.
Kate sent him back.
His wife
Yes.
sent him back to help John Connor in the past.
Basically, that T-850 killed John Connor. It was subdued by the Resistance, and then Kate reprogrammed it to protect her in the past.
But then who sent the Terminator to the after Judgment Day to kill John Connor in the past when they were having a drink in the fucking...
Okay, so you're talking about in Genesis? Or I'm sorry, in Dark Fate?
Dark Fate.
So in Dark Fate, that T-800, what they explained was in Terminator 2, Skynet actually sent more than just the T-1000 back at that point.
Right.
It sent a bunch of T-800s.
Right, yeah.
That T-800 just found them. It happened to find them before the others.
So they had a backup plan in case they fucked up.
But it doesn't matter anymore because at that point, Skynet didn't exist anymore.
Because
Skynet was stopped in Terminator 2.
But they're just the leftovers from a previous universe.
Yep. And then in that timeline, it didn't matter if John was killed at that point because Skynet was already deleted. And that's when Legion would be developed in its place.
So now, if you would do a Terminator to just have John Connor again, you would just say that none of this stuff happened. It was just a timeline.
I would make a trilogy showing the future war. I would make a trilogy to say, how did we get to Terminator 1? Which is why I am a fan of Terminator Salvation. Because they started doing that.
I do like Salvation, yeah.
And I also just learned a couple of days ago, there was a graphic novel follow-up to Terminator Salvation that I had no idea existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta get that.
Apparently it's really cool. It actually shows the end of the war. It shows an alternate end of the war.
What was it called?
I can't remember, but the story involves Marcus Wright. If you remember at the end, he gives John Connor his heart because John's was damaged.
Right.
Marcus Wright actually wakes up in the grave because he can actually operate without his heart.
Right.
And so he breaks out, and Skynet captures him and takes him to this facility where it tells him, I fucked up.
Skynet fucked up?
Skynet tells Marcus Wright, I tried to make another one like you, but the person that I selected for the program was a serial killer. And now his operating system is taking over my operating system. And so Marcus Wright convinces Skynet, you have to find John Connor. He's the only one that can help us stop this alternate AI. And Skynet's like, no, this is my mortal enemy, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, John and Skynet basically defeat this thing. And at the end of the book, John and Skynet come to a truce.
Okay.
And then they start rebuilding the world.
Wow. And
I was like, you know what? It's not ideal, but I'll take it. But
yeah, me too. I would take it.
Yeah.
You know, Chris, it's so funny. It's like, I love when we do these casts because we get really deep, you know?
It's crazy, right?
And who knew we're talking about this almost 4 hours?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I kept you up this so late.
Oh, it's all good. I've been waiting to do a show like this because there's been a lot of stuff, you know? So it's like, hey, I'm in.
So what haven't we covered? I mean, we just about covered everything, right?
I think we've covered everything so far.
Captain America, I think that's going to be bad. It's gonna ruin. I mean, you think they're still going to do a thing with Chris Evans or no?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to.
To fix it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to integrate. Is She-Hulk going to be canon or no?
I think so. Yeah, I think she's going to show up in something.
Because she's been running her mouth lately, right? So I don't know if they're going to put her with anything because she's been. And what about in Black Panther? They're going to do a sequel with that too, right? That's crazy.
They're going to recast him when the universe is reset. Yeah.
And Doctor Strange 3. It's so weird because while we're talking about Doctor Strange 3,
Yes.
Moffat's wife, Sue Virtue, is basically telling us that somehow Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman are going to do another season of Sherlock, which is,
Wow.
I don't know. She's been doing that lately. So, I mean, how far along are we with Doctor Strange 3? Do they have a script or not?
I think they're trying to fast track it, but
yeah, I don't know.
who knows, you know?
Yeah. I'm hoping with tonight's I get that. I mean, I'm hoping that Wanda is still alive, Scarlet Witch, even though they said she's dead.
I think she
shows
will
up.
be.
I hope
Yeah.
she shows up, yeah. But I think that's pretty much all I got. I don't think I have any more. You?
No, I think we could probably call it there, you know?
Yeah. Chris, I'm praying for you. That's a
Thank
crazy
you.
storm. You've been on my brain past couple days. You know that. I've been talking to you and been very worried for you. And like I said, it brings back memories about Hurricane Sandy. So say a prayer and I'll watch the storm and, you know, thinking about you.
Appreciate it.
I hope everything's okay. And, you know, thank you for all these years of doing shows with me. I mean, you know, thank you for still talking.
Oh, man.
You know, I appreciate it. I mean, I may have been off doing my own thing and different things, trying to do my gaming and everything. But
Hey,
you know,
man, I'm proud that you did all that gaming stuff. If you love that so much, you got to focus on that. So
you know what it is? I still love being with you guys, and I still love doing podcasts. But like, I get so wrapped up with the gaming, and then sometimes I'm thinking like, do they still? I hope I didn't piss anybody off. Like I was talking to Scott before earlier. Like I just said, hey, I haven't said hi to you in a while. How you doing? You know, my buddy. You know, and just like you too, I've been reaching out to members of the Rehobians and it's like seeing how you guys are doing and everything. I miss you, and I feel like am I a dick for not even I haven't said anything?
It's all good.
I appreciate it, bro. It's like a bike, right? Getting right back on the bike, right? So
you know, you and I, we're bros, you know. So
that's
it's all,
it, man. We had such a good time tonight. This was like a really nice, long everything show, and hopefully. It's on YouTube. I don't know. YouTube's been weird lately, but hopefully it stays on YouTube for a while. So thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to do it again.
Nice to be back.
The one thing we didn't talk about, we'll probably talk about eventually, Doctor Who.
Of course.
That, you know, that's something for the future to look forward to, right? So
absolutely.
Thank you, Chris. Godspeed. Hope everything works out and praying for you. Thank you, bro.
Guys, hit that like button too. It always helps, you know.
Like, subscribe. I never say that. I know that's my like and subscribe, please. If you want more everything shows.
If you're in Florida, just stay safe. We're gonna get through this, so just stay alert.
Definitely will. Yes. Subscribe. And if you want more everything shows, let us know. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chris, as always.
Thank you
guys. Take care. Bye for now.